And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere. And I don't know where to start. First of all, the Olympics. Have you guys seen some of the Olympics? You know, I almost did a video about it, but I knew they were going to give me a copyright strike. I wanted to show video and everyone gonna let it happen, but we're talking about that today. The wokeness over in Europe is out of this world. Also, we gotta speak about the media trying to lie about Kamala Harris. The craziest thing, you know, they give out fake news all the time or misleading things that may make you think one thing when something else is true. But to just straight up lie and say something didn't happen when it did, Soviet Union style, Chinese Communist Party style, Tiananmen Square is crazy. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, Gavin Newsom, California governor, has banned homeless encampments. Now, what is this all about? Is it about Kamala Harris running for president, trying to make things look right for her because she was the attorney general and she was a senator in the Golden State? What did she do in that role that could have prevented the homeless crisis? We'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, the CEO of GAB, Andrew Torba, has exposed potentially the Trump shooter as a Biden fan. No surprise there. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing right now, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on. Oh yeah, there's a whole lot happening. And shout out to y'all for rocking and rolling. I really appreciate it. We're at the end of July. August is next week. Can you believe it? August is next week. And the Democratic National Convention is when? August, I believe, 19th in Chicago. Now, I think the mayor, what's his name? Brandon Johnson, my man with the little baby frohawk, the little Roscoe Dash. Brandon Johnson was trying to cancel the ShotSpotter equipment because he said it was racist, but he wanted to cancel it, but then extend it to just beyond the election. It's like, sir, really? If you gotta do all that, why not just keep the ShotSpotter? Just keep it. If you gotta extend it for a special occasion, why not keep it beyond that to keep the streets safer? And if you guys don't know, ShotSpotter is technology where they can detect gunshots in certain neighborhoods and police can be dispatched to the area. Okay, you're hearing some kind of OK Corral shootout, but anybody calling the police, everybody scared, everybody, just kind of ignore it. They can just get dispatched and save some lives. And it's a good piece of equipment to have because I've lived in areas where you hear shooting all the time. Like every night you're going to hear shooting. Now, once you start to hear shooting every single night, why would you keep calling the police? It's like a broken record. And then you don't know where it's coming from, really. You don't know if somebody got shot, if they're on the ground, they bleeding out. You don't know what's happening. All you want to do is get on the ground and not get shot yourself. So the ShotSpotter is a great piece of equipment, but because Brandon Johnson says it's racist, I guess it quote unquote over polices black and brown communities. I guess is what it does. So that means it's racist. But it's not so racist to where it can't be used for the Democratic National Convention. It's not because we got all these foreign dignitaries. We have all these U.S. Politicians. We got people coming from all over the country, journalists and everybody. Okay, the presidential nominee, vice president, family, friends. It's not because of that. No. It's because, anyway, people are crazy. But shout out to Brandon Johnson. Hey man, just keep it easy, man. Take it easy. No more panic attacks. Just do right, man. Keep them ShotSpotters, man. Listen, if you keep the ShotSpotter technology, it's going to reduce your stress levels a lot. Okay, it's going to reduce it a lot. Now, shout out to you guys again for being here. We got a whole lot to discuss. There's a whole lot going on, but y'all know how I do first things first. Shout out to you guys, of course, for being here. I couldn't do the show without y'all, but shout out to the sponsor. Shout out to patriotpost.us. your best source of news and information. Their link will be in the description, or just go to the website from your browser, patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, shout out to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We get the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to anthonyblogan.com, my regular website, and go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources from the left, from the right, from the politically agnostic, right in the middle, local, national, international, full uncut videos on the website. As long as I can post it legally, ain't gonna be nothing crazy. But as long as I can post it, I will post it right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. And of course, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. There you can find my email address, my snail mail address, my UPS box, of course. You can find my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. All those things are right there on the contact page. And y'all know how I do. I try to warn y'all to not get scammed, because the scamming is at an all-time high. The scamming right now is crazy. People are hungry. You know, the economy is messed up. So some of these scams are going through the roof. Y'all know how I said that if one of these scammers in the comments pretending to be me gives you a 5,842 digit WhatsApp number to contact them on, and you are able to get them on the phone, and they sounds like this. They don't sound like your regular ABL. They sounds like this, huh? They sound like they're in an Uber driving their next passenger to the destination today. Okay, they're going today. They're not going back to Nigeria, but they're staying here in America. If they sound like that, that's not me. But look, they got AI, of course, and y'all know how AI is. They might be able to recreate my voice. Now, that's going to be kind of difficult. If the AI can do that, then hats off to the AI. But I saw a Nigerian woman, a reporter, very good reporter, warn people about Nigerians scamming other Nigerians using AI. And of course, it ain't just Nigerians doing it. It could be a next door neighbor trying to scam you, cloning your voice to call you and say that they're me. Or when you call them from a scammer number in the comments, it may sound like me. But look, though, I have no Bitcoin for you. I have no foreign exchange currency for you. I don't know about day trading. I'm not going to ask you for an Apple iTunes gift card. I'm not going to be on no funny stuff, okay? I'm not going to flip your tax return for you. I'm not going to do anything like that. So if you get hit with the Nigerian voice, the Ukrainian, Russian, if it dies, it dies. If you get hit with that voice or a voice that sounds like mine, please be aware that I'm not ever going to ask you for anything crazy or weird, and I'm not a scammer in this year of our Lord 2024. So we got a whole lot going on, but shout out to you guys again for joining. Let me see. Hold on. Rob Fresh says, please check ABL debates, UCLA professor. Oh, okay. Yeah. So somebody said I was not balanced. I'm trying to read some of the comments here. Yeah, shout out to you, Granny. Said Granny loves ABL. I don't typically stream Trump's regular rallies. If it's like a special event or something like that, I'll stream it, but not the regular rallies, because that's all I would ever do. That's like what you would have RSBN. Shout out to RSBN. They do a really good job of covering that consistently. All right, but we got a whole lot going on here, and shout out to y'all. Again, yeah, don't fall for the okie doke at all. Iron Shell says, when am I going to get my 10 Bitcoin delivered? Hey, man, I don't know where it is. Hey, man, look, I emailed you the tracking number. Please check the tracking number right now. You check the tracking number, it'll go to the way it's supposed to be, but I don't know. I don't have the destination of your Bitcoin. I don't know. It's still in the middle right now. Just wait for the Bitcoin to come in. 65,000 at the Trump rally. Wow. And I did see him at the Bitcoin conference. That's funny. I saw him at the Bitcoin conference earlier. Yeah, Trump is the guy. I mean, it's to the point now where the media, they're trying to do whatever they can to keep him out, but they're running out of options. They tried the lawfare thing. That didn't work. That was a flop. Okay, he got convicted, but we don't think he won't actually go to prison. That's going to get overturned. Like, it ain't going to happen. So the lawfare thing, that's not working. Also, they tried to delete him. I don't know who they is, but somebody tried to delete him, and God said, nope. Listen, how do you get shot on the side of your head, The bullet looked like it was as close as a straight razor in the barber chair when you get in a shave. It was that close to his face. How do you get shot from that distance and get missed by that much to the point where it does hit you, but it basically pierces your ear? How does it happen without God intervention? I don't know. Okay. I don't know at all. But yeah, shout out to Arlene McGee says, ABL, been missing you. YouTube unsubscribed me, but I found you. Shout out to you. I'm glad you found me for sure. Shout out to you. Yeah, YouTube likes to act funny, like to always unsubscribe people, do weird things, but I'm glad you guys are back. But Trump, listen, they can't do anything to him. There's nothing that they can really do. So now they're scrambling, trying to make Kamala Harris be somebody. And it ain't going to work. They tried this in 2020. Some of you guys may have seen, that I didn't go viral, but a friend of mine, Anton Daniels, shout out to Anton Daniels. Anton went viral and I was on that panel. I did speak on that panel, but in the clip that went viral, it was Anton speaking and not me. Now, this is kind of, I gotta show you guys this stuff. This was a really good, segment from Anton, and it kind of shows this panel, if you see the full thing. And shout out to you guys who were on that stream or saw the full stream afterward. If you see the full thing, you could tell that a lot of us are just not really informed. The primaries, they're like, what's that? You know, what's a primary? People just don't know certain things. And I think we got to just educate people a lot more. And as they get more and more educated, the tricks that the mainstream media does are not going to be as effective. Okay, they're not going to be as effective. They're trying to put Kamala Harris out there, make her be somebody, you know, and also people don't realize that she ran in 2020. They don't know that either. I was talking about the primaries. I was talking about her running in 2020. They had no idea. If in 2020, just this past election, nobody liked her and the community voted for Joe Biden over Kamala Harris during their primary time, Kamala Harris got curb stomped by everybody. She was getting beat by Amy Klobuchar. Amy Klobuchar would come out there shaking like Michael J. Fox, shaking. I'm like, is she sick? Is she okay? I'm not trying to make fun of anybody that has that condition where they shake, but I'm just saying, if it's going to be the president, maybe I want them to be a little bit more healthy, a little bit more virile. If you're already shaking and stuff on the campaign stage, then maybe you're not going to be suitable to go out there and be the leader of the free world. I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. People had no idea about her running before. Now they're going to be introduced to her for the very first time, and they're not going to like what they see. They're not going to like it. Just being black is not enough. Barack Obama was black and a smooth character. He was somebody that people liked. They were attracted to him. He was tall, handsome, smooth voice, like a biracial Bill Clinton. A biracial Bill Clinton. That's who Barack Obama was. And shout out to you, Anton. I see you in the chat, my man. He was a biracial Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, for you guys who are pretty young, he was on Arsenio Hall. And Arsenio, again, for you youngsters, was Shannon Sharp before Shannon Sharp. You know, you got Club Shay Shay. Arsenio had the first version of that with a nighttime talk show, like a Jimmy Kimmel, but with the black flavor. That was Arsenio Hall. What was that, like the early 90s? Bill Clinton went on Arsenio Hall and played the saxophone. Oh my goodness. That moment right there really did it, because people like when you're cool and you seem like you're fun and you're relatable. That's what they like. They don't like HR lady trying to be the president. They don't like goofy cowboy boot, 15-foot heel wearing guys trying to be the president. It may seem superficial. It may seem like that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, hold on. Before we get to Anton's clip, I want to show Slick Willie playing the sax on Arsenio. Okay. Now imagine you have a president right now. Go on Club Shay Shay and play the saxophone. That'd be tremendous. Okay. Especially if it was a Democrat and they already kind of on that type of wave. All right. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. There we go. We got it. YouTube. The best thing since pants with pockets, I promise. RP to the headphone users. And hey, young people, listen. This is another old man shakes fist at cloud moment. Old man shakes fist at cloud. You guys do not understand how big this show was. This Arsenio was like the man back then, like 1991, 1992 or before. And I think what got him off the air might have been changing times. But of course, it was that Farrakhan interview. Oh boy, that did it. All right, we ain't got to play the whole show, but here we go. He's right here. Now, at this time, he was still the governor. He was running. Okay, he was still the governor. He was still in Little Rock ducking bullets. He was still in Little Rock ducking bullets. Well, maybe not at the governor's mansion, but you understand what I'm saying? Now, look, they're opening the show with a live band, and Bill Clinton, as a governor of Arkansas, is playing a saxophone with a pair of shades on. I remember this. I remember as a kid, I saw this when it happened. I remember this very well. That leaves an impression on people's minds because they don't really know a lot about politics. All they see, okay, this guy's a governor, and he's coming out here playing a saxophone, and he's saying the right thing and talking right and real smooth. Yeah, so Slick Willie coming out there to Arsenio was tremendous at that time. Early 90s, it was tremendous. Oh, yeah, but see, Hillary, headlines with a voice. Hillary, she don't got the juice. Bill was the star. Bill was the man. Bill was the guy. Now, in the case of Barack Obama, Michelle may have some of that. But not really. Michelle kind of come off similar to Hillary Clinton. HR lady. That's not who I want to be the president. I think most people don't want a female president. A lot of women that I know and I've spoken to that are not even into politics say they don't want a female president because they say that they themselves are too temperamental, too hormonal. They told me that. I'm not saying that about them. I'm just saying what people are saying. Me, I don't include my opinion into who the general public wants because the general public is largely uninformed about most of this stuff we're talking about. Not trying to say anything negative against common regular people. It's just what it is. And people in power try to play on that. So when the mainstream media says certain things a certain way, they say it with the intention of confusing you or making you believe a thing that's not really true based on your limited knowledge that they have from their high level education that you're not going to have just being a regular working person, which is nothing wrong with. But the news, what they do is like a contract. When you read some of these contracts or any kind of lawyer stuff, it's going to be written in a language you can't really understand, legalese. They do the same thing on the news. They speak newspaper ease. Okay, they say things that don't make a lot of sense to you when you first see it, or when you read it, you're going to think something that's not necessarily the case. Yeah, so yeah, shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. We got a lot to get into aside from Slick Willie playing the sax. Let's get to my man, Anton. This was a really good. Hey, Anton, if you don't know, I know you know. Your DM, look, your messages are blowing up. You're going viral. You're all over the place. I saw you on a news website. You're everywhere.
Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for?
Yeah. Let me start from the top. The caption says Anton schools women for only wanting to vote because Kamala Harris is black. All right. Let's get some sound and keep on going.
Vote for? Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm going to just be real honest with this. She's a black woman.
Yeah.
So this woman said the reason why I'm going to vote. Hold on. Who said that? The reason why I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris is because she's black, a black woman.
I'm going to just be real honest with this. She's a black woman.
Yeah. Because they skin folk, not Kim folk.
I think it goes back to what somebody was saying, where it's not voting for someone, but majority will vote for somebody else just
Hold
as
on, wait. Hold on. Let me mind this out.
I
Is
think
it
majority.
only because she a black woman?
Yeah.
Do you not see how that's a bad idea?
Elaborate.
Okay, so we're in 3 proxy wars with some of the most powerful leaders in the world. She failed at the border, in which we have an estimation of 15 to 20 million people illegally into this country. That is literally overtaking and bankrupting Chicago to the tune of over $400 million per year, and they are in a deficit. Oakland is going out of business. San Francisco ditto. California, $65 billion deficit. New York, they're literally cutting trash, in which they are the rattiest, dirtiest city, and they've taken up resources as far as free healthcare, free hotels to the tune of $600 a day. They're literally taking over your schools. Your taxpayer dollars are going to fund the migrant crisis. She was supposed to be in charge of this. We have a failing economy. Every single day I see people getting on the internet talking about $30 an hour is the new minimum wage, because inflation is fucking out of control. At one point, it was at almost 10%, depending on what city that you in. She has no policy, no record to stand on. One of the biggest things that she did in her career was lock up more black men than ever before. But we sitting here and vote her in office on identity politics. The very person that she was under as far as the president of the United States of America, she called him racist during a debate, which shows you how fake she is. And the only thing that we can stand on from a policy perspective is whether or not she's black and she's a woman. We did that during the Obama administration, and he didn't do anything for black people. As a matter of fact, y'all complain because the only person that he did, or the only group of people that he really stood for, is the alphabet community, and that's his landmark thing that he's still standing on today. So the only thing that we have to stand on is identity politics. That shit didn't work with Tiffany Henyard in Dayton, Illinois. It didn't work with Karen Bass. It didn't work with Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. It didn't work with Brandon Johnson, that then took over her position in Chicago. It didn't work with Andre Dickens in Atlanta. It didn't work with Eric Adams in New York. It doesn't work across the country. Every single Democratic city is a hellhole. And we sitting here talking about identity politics?
I mean, very well said. Very, very well said. Now, the comments, you guys in the comments are hilarious. Somebody asked me a question, was it today? Nah, that's not today. I'm in the bottom left-hand corner. I have on the green shirt and the Braves hat. And today I have on, and that's a green t-shirt. Now I have on a black polo shirt. Like, I don't even really care about clothing at all, fashion at all. Yeah, and somebody said that's Uncle ABL. Yeah, that's my Uncle ABL look. that's a different uniform I wear for that channel. To be totally honest, I could be looking like a bum on the street, like I smoke crack for a living all day. I don't really care. As long as I'm, I wash my hind parts, I don't really care about how I look. But what Anton said was right on point. It was right on point. And this is going viral all over the place for good reason. Because who cares about your race? At the end of the day, are you doing a good job? Do you have good policy? Will my life improve or decline based upon you becoming the president? Or not. That's all that matters. I don't care. Like I say, you could be a space alien from Mars. You could be green, purple, blue, candy stripe, black, white, whatever. I don't care. Are you going to do a good job? I don't care about your gender or whatever. Look, I put it to you this way. Now, y'all know how I am about the transformer community, about the extremists among the LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Zs. Y'all know how I dislike them. But, hear me out. But, if I'm not going to say anybody's name specifically, because it's not even about a particular person. If my favorite president was president for 4 years, had a great track record, and was up for a re-election, and then during the campaign process, all of a sudden I'm seeing the ponytail start to form on the back of his head. I'm seeing the Bruce Jenner signs of transitioning. Okay, you getting a little bit extra on top of you. You know what I mean? You got your ponytail forming, might be a little bit of lip liner. I might be kind of concerned, but if he comes out and says, hey, look, check it out. Yes, I'm transitioning. yes, I'm about to consider myself to be female, but everything else, the policies that you love, the way you live ain't going to change. Now, I got to make a decision. I don't want to have, a transformer as a president, but if the policy is better than the next guy who's not a transformer, you see what I'm saying? You got to make a decision. Now, I'm going to ask y'all, what would you rather have? Gun to your head, loaded, one in the chamber, ready to rock. What would you rather have if you had to pick between one of the two? A transformer president who was 100% conservative, constitutional, all your rights, low taxes, no taxes, taxation and stuff, guns for all. Would you want that guy or Joe Biden? You tell me. I ain't going to do a poll. I'm just asking you guys just because. I want to just do that experiment. Okay, that's what I want. All right, let me see. Al Tarp says, massive blackout in Paris right now. Amazing Disgrace says, what brought this on? Because I was talking about the video here of the woman saying that she was going to vote Kamala Harris just because she's a black woman. That's it. No policy, no nothing. Your identity is the only way that I vote for you. Now I'm saying I'm the exact opposite. I don't care what your identity is. To a certain extent, if your policy is rock solid, then let's do it. That's all. Conservative guy all day long. Yeah, Autobots unite. Is it a hard one, New York City Patriot? I know it might be kind of a difficult one. I mean, realistically, it probably wouldn't happen, but hey, man, nowadays you don't know what's going on. Nowadays, I can't call it. I don't know what's happening. And you know what? Hold on. Speaking about weird things you didn't really see, or maybe you guys did see this coming. Hold on. Somebody says that he, she, that is based. Transformer or what's in disguise. Transformer all day. Who cares? What's between his leg? These food prices can't go back. Yeah. I'm saying, I don't care what you got going on with yourself, but can I get a pack of chicken for less than $1 million? How about that? That's how I would feel. Now, look, here we have your man, RFK. Some of you guys like RFK. I'm kind of on the fence about RFK. I think he has some really leftist policies, but he also has some common sense things that he says. I like some things that he says, but not everything. Would I vote for him to be the president? No. But here he is. Where is he at? Is he at some event? And the hot tour girl is right beside him, taking the picture. Now, how y'all feel about that? You think it's a good look for RFK? Take a picture with her? Okay. And y'all know who that is. Y'all know how she got popular. If not, I ain't going to try to explain it. We're a family show here. Okay. But yeah, that's him with her at an event. Now, how do y'all, is that something that is not really a big deal? Just kind of like regular. It's like, hey, man, whatever. It's cool. Y'all let me know what you think about that. I feel like some of you guys may or may not like that. All right. You guys may or may not like it. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'm reading some of the comments. Scoop says McDonald's has a 3-year low interest loan on value meals. Hilarious. That's hilarious. What if they can do, I feel like we're at the point now, if they had Klarna on the Chick-fil-A app, some of y'all use it. Not you guys, because you guys are billionaires. I'm talking about the normies. If you could put Klarna on the Chick-fil-A app, people will use it. And here's my thought process. Okay, if we're using, if we're putting chicken tendies on layaway, we might need to kind of reduce our spending, like trying to go to a grocery store, maybe. Okay, that little meal you got right there is going to cost you quite a bit. You could get a lot more food from the grocery store if you're able to shop frugally. Okay, you don't need to be trying to put chicken tendies and super old grease that's going to clog up your arteries and layaway. That ain't how we do things, or we shouldn't do it like that. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, here's a protest that my man Nick Shirley is at, and he wants to know, hey, why are you guys protesting? What's going on? What's the big hubbub, kerfuffle? What's the fuss all about? Check it out. Let's get a little bit of sound, and RIP in advance to the headphone users.
I understand why they are protesting and see if they can give me any good answers. What are you guys out here protesting for?
No comment.
Why are you guys out here today?
Speak to the organizers.
Why can't I wanted to ask you.
Official statements from the organizers only.
In the simplest terms, why are you guys protesting? Why are you guys protesting today?
I don't think it would be a good idea if we...
Why are you guys protesting?
Just to be a part of the cause.
And what's the cause?
Yeah, I'm not the right person to talk to either.
It's not our job to talk to. We're just here to support. We're not the spokespeople of this event. This is the wrong people to talk to.
I'm not asking for the spokesperson. I'm just asking why you guys are protesting. Why are you guys here today?
We're not interested in speaking with you.
I want to know if they actually understand.
So they have no idea. Really, a lot of these people, a lot of young people, a lot of kids, they're just out there because it's just something to do. Maybe they think it's like some kind of anti-Trump thing. Yeah, Trump sucks. Trump, orange man bad. I'm going to go out there. How they going to say orange man bad when Joe Biden had an orange tan? Joe Biden went to Donald Trump's former White House tanning bed and got himself done up, nice and crispy. Okay, like a pig on a stick. Nice and orange, just for the debate. And he had a little bit of that orange glow at the exit speech. So I don't want to hear orange man bad. I don't want to hear that no more because both of them guys are orange. Okay, they're orange brothers, step brothers. But they have no idea what they're out there protesting. They're just out there because. Now, that's why they say talk to the spokespeople, because they'll be able to speak to the media and be articulate. So some are going to say, well, look, the reason why they say that is because they don't want to get caught up in the gotcha with an interview and have a weird statement come out. But the question was pretty easy. Why are you out here? I don't know. I don't know why I'm out here. I just want to be because I just want to support. That's pretty much what it is. Now, shout out to these kids right here. These kids, hey, somebody need to give these kids some type of award or something. Unless it's some kind of game they got and they know the person. Because that could be it right there. But look, these kids saved or helped this lady out. So if you guys can't see what's going on, the woman, some kind of like Amazon flex driver or something like that, she takes a package and delivers it and takes a picture. But right as she does that, somebody comes from behind her, steals it and runs off. But it's some kids on the block that see him and they chase after him. Now, this could have been just a good deed. That's what I think it is. That's what my kind heart wants to believe. And that's probably true. But it could have been a setup to where he would do that. They go chase him. She see it and they come back and she say, hey, here's an award or something like that. But I don't think so. That's just my cynical brain thinking. But here they come back with the actual package.
Excuse me. You got your package back.
Oh, snap. Thank you. You're welcome. I appreciate that. Thank y'all. Have a good day. You too. You too.
So yeah, shout out to them if that was a real thing and they got the package back. Shout out to them. You know, I hope that it's a real thing. Hope it ain't nobody trying to play a game and just finesse. Yeah, but shout out to them. Is it staged? Yeah, a lot of y'all saying it's a scam, is staged because at the end, the boy sat right down on the stoop. Like, okay, now what do I get? That's kind of what it looked like. But ultimately, I hope that it was a real thing. Now, we got some protesters, some kind of unhinged people. I don't know how we got to this point in America. Like, what makes you, listen, can I ask a question? Just a simple question. Now, this is 100% real. They're out here with the Palestine flag. What makes somebody get up out the bed and dress like this? We got a whole lot of things going on. I think someone watches too much television. We have the Palestinian scarf, the Palestinian flag. I don't know what this red getup is. Is that the Handmaid's Tale outfit? Listen, a lot of things that the protesters do, I don't even know what they're doing. Like, I'm not sure who you're trying to emulate. I don't watch television. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I don't know a lot of these references. But what is that red getup? Little Red Riding Hood, Handmaid's Tale. Maybe you are an executioner, get ready to hurt somebody. I don't know what's happening. Like, y'all let me know what the red getup is. But let's continue to play the video here.
Why do you wear a mask?
Because I can, nigga.
Why do you wear a mask?
Why carry this?
Why you wear a mask?
Not the N-word. That's crazy.
Why
Why are you wearing masks?
Are you a pervert? You trying to see my fucking face?
You guys support terrorists? You guys support
terrorists? Pedophiles?
You support terrorists? You would support
Whoa.
Okay, you guys support terrorists.
I can see your eyes tearing up.
I'm not my eyes never tearing up, man. I'm Yisrael Chai, baby.
Like, what has Paw so perturbed? Sir, what is the problem? Now, his shirt, ironically enough, says Peace Walk 2024. Peace Walk? That's not a very peaceful way to go about doing things, my man. If you guys are supposed to be so peaceful, I don't understand all this aggression we got going on.
I'm Yisrael Chai. Long live Israel. Long live Israel. From Hamas. You guys are supporting.
Over that land, it is bloody. There is so much revenge.
You low-life scumbag, you. I'd like to pinch.
No.
From the river Tennessee.
Palestine will not be free with you.
But what makes people do this? I've never seen these kind of people before. Like, I've never seen anybody like out here protesting for Palestine. And that's been that whole thing with Palestine and Israel, and that's been going on for forever, literally for forever. But now all of a sudden you got people out there with the Palestine flag and the scarf and all of that. People just trendy. They're trendy protesters. They're trendy activists. Whatever they see on social media, whatever they see on television, they believe it. And that's a generation that told us not to believe whatever we see on TV. Hey, little kids, don't believe whatever you see on TV. There's a lot of fake stuff out there. It could be some actors putting on the show for you and you don't even know it. But yet those same people believe whatever they see on TV. It's nuts.
Kamala.
Now let's keep on going here. We got a street interview. I love street interviews. Love them.
Kamala or Trump?
Kamala.
Why?
Many reasons. Many reasons. I don't want to.
Many reasons means I don't know. I don't want to explain that means I don't know. Most normies are going to respond like that because what they really want to say is the reason why I'm voting for Kamala Harris is because she's a Democrat, black woman in that order. Or really, yeah, Democrat, black woman in that order. Because they don't want to be a racist and they don't want to vote Trump. So they're going to vote Democrat, black woman. That's why. But if they say that, then they're racist.
Explain them.
So you're voting for Kamala. That's totally cool. Can you name your favorite accomplishment of hers as vice president?
Can I name what?
Favorite accomplishment, like one policy she's done that you really fell in love with that's making you vote for her.
I don't want to have this discussion.
Because a lot of us on the right, we call her a DEI hire. We believe that she was only hired because of her gender and her skin color.
See, I think that's racist as fuck and misogynist.
But isn't DEI supposed to be a good thing? So is it good or bad? I thought DEI is a good thing.
Nah, you're doing a little bit too much, my man. At a certain point, you know she ain't trying to, normies ain't really trying to talk because I don't got nothing to say. You kind of proved it. But yeah, from the jump, many reasons. I don't want to talk about it. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. They're just kind of empty. They know whatever the TV tells them. Now, what's going on here inside somebody's school building? This account on the Antichrist known as TikTok says the rainbow teacher. Okay, the rainbow teacher.
You walk into your classroom to meet your teacher and you see me. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Now, we got all kind of stuff going on. We have all kind of just random pins. Just a little bit of everything. The hair, the glasses, super rainbow. Everything's rainbow. The classroom is rainbow, like not rainbow in the classroom all the way, but I am seeing some rainbow decorations in there a little bit. Okay, on a chalkboard, I'm seeing some stuff. Now look, I'm old, man. I've never seen anything like this in a school ever for a teacher. Maybe a student might do something like that on a random occasion, but even the students didn't even dress like this. The students didn't dress like this, let alone the teachers. It's like the teachers have regressed kind of into or stay in childhood. And of course, if you got a teacher that's stuck in childhood, they're going to want to be friends, quote unquote, with people that are also children in a very inappropriate way, which is why, in my humble opinion, you get a lot of this stuff happening, even with the female teachers abusing their students. Okay, that's kind of where we're going. That's the ultimate end game. Oh, I'm just, love wins, love all. All right, whatever. Just like in California where they had the monkeypox outbreak. And then First, it was just among gay males. They came out and said it was an STD on NBC News. They didn't really want to publicize that too much because that would have made it be homophobic to say that the monkeypox virus is spreading because of gay male activity between each other. But that's what it was. But then, after they put the article out, after they had a vaccination drive in New York City where they said only highly active homosexual gay males should apply to get the actual vaccine, after they did that, then they said that that wasn't baby, it was children and dogs were getting monkeypox. And the only thing they had in common with each other was that they were living in households with gay men. So how that happened? How does your dog get monkeypox? How does your dog get a human STD? What it be doing? Y'all already know what time it is. But anyway, let's keep on rolling. Now, I was going to play one video here, but he has a very inappropriate shirt on. Very inappropriate shirt. Okay, I'm not going to play that. I'm going to just go somewhere else. All right. So this is California. We got a billboard right here. So the billboard, very interesting. I don't know where in California they are. We got some grass, so it might be in a non-desert area, maybe up in a mountain. I don't know where it is, but the billboard says, "Wake up. This is their new America." And it has Newsom and Biden crossed out with little dunce caps on them that says Dumb and Dumber. And it says, "Change things with your vote." And it has Trump in the green circle. And underneath the change things, I can't see what it might be like the migrant crisis right there, all them people. And then below that, you got the very high gas prices. California residents, I feel bad for you guys paying all that money for gas. Like $7, $8. I think it got, like, what was the peak California gas price? What, probably like, was it $10? I think it got to like regular or premium, $10, close to $10 for a 1 gallon of gas. It's unreal. Then they want to put you on EVs, which is the dumbest thing in the world. If you want to get an electric vehicle, that's fine. But an actual EV to use instead of a gas all over. And the reason they say they want the EV is to save the planet, reduce carbon emission, not even knowing how electricity is actually, how you get electricity in your outlet. When you plug in something into the wall, do you know where that comes from? It ain't just pixie dust. It ain't just harnessed from the sky. It has to come from a source. There must be a power source. And the power source for the grid is going to be more coal. So they say, West Virginia, you guys got to learn the code, right? We're going to ditch coal. We're going to dump coal. There's no more coal. But in order for the grid to be powered properly, to power all these electric vehicles with these behemoth batteries that take so much power to energize these things, you got to have more coal. Ultimately, you're going to just end up increasing the demand for coal rather than decreasing it. So people are just, they don't understand where things come from. They don't understand where things come from. And nuclear is also an option, but one fallout is over. One fallout in mainland U.S. is over. Yep. Hold on. 8-Bit only says they want to tax you now on how many miles you drive. And they say it's because too many EVs and not enough gas tax coming in. I saw that. So in California, what they want to do is tax you per mile you drive because all the EVs are drying up the gas tax money. I'm not going to the pump to get gas, so ain't no gas tax. What they're going to end up doing probably is taxing the charging stations or taxing you at your house. Ultimately, you're going to have energy costs go up. Your cost of your vehicle going to rise. Cost of your energy is going to rise. All that's going to rise. All that's going to rise up. All because we want to be able to save the environment. Meanwhile, we're going to be burning much more coal than we ever have before. Looking like old school New York City would sit on the window. I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I'm saying. You're going to increase your consumption of these so-called dirty fossil fuels. All right. Let me see. Mauricio 91 says, nah, electromagnetic confinement is a new way. Nuclear reactors are old news. Meltdowns are impossible with a new tech. Hey, well, if that's what it is, and that's what it is. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. But ultimately, the cheaper, probably easier way just to be able to get the grid power right now is just to burn more coal. It's already happening. It's already more demand on coal right now because of the EVs we have on the market. And as we get more and more, they're talking about having 18-wheeler EVs. You know what kind of power that's going to take and how often you got to stop. And if that thing crashes, oh my goodness. If an EV truck, pickup truck, an 18-wheeler with a full load goes down the mountain, it's going to be a lot heavier, first of all. Oh man, going down the mountain with a full load on the EV truck, 18-wheeler, you're going to be a rocket down the mountain. You're going to be crashing and burning. And if you burn, it's going to be the most intense fire you've ever seen in your life. You can't even put it out with water or nothing. Imagine that. Imagine the 18-wheeler going down the mountain and hitting the what's that? The escape ramp, hitting that, the runaway ramp, hitting the runaway ramp at a high speed, and then boom, catching on. You got a whole forest fire. All right, but check this out right here. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out.
I used to believe everything I'd see on the news, but that's before I discovered a brain.
A brain is meant for everyday use. Those living with moderate to severe stupidity have seen immediate improvement in common sense with a brain.
I thought the government had my best interests at heart, and then a friend told me about a brain.
Talk to your doctor about what news sources you obey. A brain may also lower your desire to take life-altering advice from celebrities.
Getting lectured about my carbon footprint from people with 3 private jets used to make sense. But thanks to a brain, now I can think for myself every day. When my disregard for 3rd grade biology began to flare up, I knew it was time for a brain.
Do not try a brain if you're allergic to a brain. Common side effects may include accountability, discernment, homeschooling your kids, a better understanding of economics, awareness of the stupidity of socialism, and diarrhea.
For tethering yourself to reality, the only no-brainer is choosing a brain. Ask your doctor if a brain is right for you.
For more information, visit tryabrain.com.
Very well done. Very well done. Now, to give credit, let me see what this is. Nick Peterson. Shout out to Nick Peterson. This is his video right here. All right. Shout out to Nick Peterson. Very, very well done. And to go back to it right quick, I got to give a shout out to Terrence Williams. That's his brand right there, Cousin T. So shout out to him. Shout out to Terrence. Good dude. Met him a few times. Always just really a good person. Terrence K. Williams. That's his brand, Cousin T's. He has like a pancake mix. I'm not sure if he has more, but that's his brand right there on his apron. Terrence Williams, Cousin T's. Shout out to him. And I think the purpose of Cousin T's is to replace Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben. That was crazy that they had to remove Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Like, nobody was offended by that. Nobody. I used to buy Uncle Ben's rice and Aunt Jemima. Nobody was offended. Uncle Ben was like an uncle on the rice, and Aunt Jemima she was like an aunt. She was an aunt and he was an uncle. Nobody had a problem. But some random people talking about, oh, that's racist. It's offensive. Offensive? How? It's the dumbest thing in the world. But let's keep on going here. Now, speaking about offensive, you want to see offensive? This is offensive. The Olympics. Now, I know they're going to try to get me on the copyright, so I got to be very, very, very careful. Very careful, but I will show you what's going on. Now, the opening ceremony for the Olympics in Paris, very, very woke, as I suspected. Shout out to France. All right. You should have surrendered your right to have the Olympics this year. You should have waved the white flag on this opening ceremony. That would have been great. Y'all can do that very well, can't you, France? Anyway. Now, this is what they did. They recreated the Last Supper with drag queens. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They put the fattest drag queen right in the middle. Okay, to represent Jesus Christ. Now look, man, I don't have, this is what I'm talking about right here. Regular gay people I have no problem with. Okay, I got family friends that's gay. They do their business. They don't just shove that in your face. If you didn't ask them about their sexuality, it wouldn't even be a thing they would ever talk about. Why am I seeing drag queens recreating the Last Supper. For what? Why? It's an open slap in the face to Christians all over the world. It's openly slapping us in the face. Well, I'm not religious, but still, I feel I'm offended. I'm offended. And I knew before the Olympics began, I knew that it would be like this. I had no doubt in my mind that it would be just like this. None whatsoever. Now, I'm going to, hold on, let me see. Drea says, insult, and I ain't a religious person, the nerve is that I feel the same way. I'm insulted, but I'm not even religious. I feel offended. Now, this is some of the video of it, and I got the sound off because they got to be very careful with the Olympic stuff. Now, you see what's happening here? Some kind of DJ set up right here, and you got a child in the mix. Hold on. There's a child right there. Why do we got kids up here? Why can't adults entertain other adults without kids being involved? A kid shouldn't be at a drag show, a strip club, or anything adult like that. All right? Now, I don't know who this random black dude is. Why they got to have him up there? Sir, what are you doing? Wait a minute. Wait, just one doggone minute. Okay, we got a bunch of drag queens, the LGBTQ elemental P, X, Y, Z up there. Then we get this random hip-hop dancer in the back. Sir, who are you? Hip-hop dancer number 5. Neighborhood crackhead number 2. That's you right now. What are you doing? What is all this? A backwards hat and all kind of expressive motion? My man, what in the world are you doing? Are you like the resident black guy up here? Are you the black stripe and the LGBT flag? Is that you, sir? Sir, this is crazy. I would never, man. Whoever you are, don't go back to your house, man. Just stay out there. This is crazy. Okay, let's not do the close-up of this dude's breasts. But nah, man, that's what's going on right now with the Olympics. I'm not a fan. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I already knew that was going to happen before they even before. And you know what? It's really kind of upsetting because look, is that the DEI? That's crazy. That's crazy. He's up there as a DEI. Okay, so we got the drag queens. We got all kind of races of drag queens. But now we got to get a regular dude up there to be like the little bit of, you know what I mean? Little diversity. I'm offended. A black dude for real. That's a diversity. Up with a bunch of drag queens. What was going through his mind? Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get in front of a stage, in front of the whole world, and disrespect Christianity as just, I don't know, man. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I'm not a fan. But hey, it's Paris is where the Olympics are. It's woke stuff is what they do. Listen, the European wokeness is different. We think we have woke characters here. Laughs in Scandinavian, laughs in Western Europe, laughs in Germany, Berlin. Yeah, shout out to Berlin. That might be kind of like the dividing point between East and West. East is a little bit better. Now I'm seeing the people talking about the power outage in France, but I mean, was there an attack? What happened? Or just the power's out? I mean, what could be happening right now is that there's a big drain on the power on the grid because everybody in Paris right now trying to use their phones, trying to use their electronic devices. So I don't know what's going on. Who knows? They probably have some older infrastructure, so I don't know what's going on. No power in the whole city. But was there an attack? I'm gonna look into it right quick. A lot of you guys are asking me about it. Let me just see what's going on. Okay, so they had rain, and then the transport system was brought to its knees by protesters. Basically, they're saying that it was part of because it was rain. The trains got burnt on Thursday, but that's not part of the power outage. I don't see anything that says anything about why it happened. It's just power is out. So I don't know nothing about, like, if they come out and say that something happened or there's a specific reason, then it is what it is. All right. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Paris. But what I do know is that some of the Parisians are offended at the display that we just saw. They're really offended. Let me get my screen down to the regular size. I can't believe that black dude up there literally shucking and jiving. That's shucking and jiving right there. This man was out there doing some interpretive dance with drag queens. I would never. If y'all see ABL on stage doing some kind of dance with drag queens, know that I'm there against my will. If you see ABL on stage doing interpretive dances with an all-white linen suit and a backwards hat with drag queens in Paris, you know that I got kidnapped. And you know that they put something in my brain and I can't get out of it. You know I'm like stuck in the whole Get Out thing where they hypnotize you. That's pretty much what's going on. So if you see me there, call the police and rescue me, please. But here is the point of view of some Parisians. I'm trying to read some of this French, but I can't. It says, POV, you regard the ceremony, the overture. I don't know all that. Let's just watch.
Ah, mais c'est Philippe Cap.
Comment tu veux qu'un étranger ne dise pas qu'en France on est complètement barjobin?
Qui a dit que les gars, j'ai une idée de bâtard?
Look, they don't like it. They don't like it. The Parisians don't like it. So, you know, they did get hit by protesters at the Olympics. Some of these protesters could be like, hey, man, what's up with this anti-Christian, really woke stuff? Oh, the European protesters, they get active. They get active.
Avec un meule de record devant là. Sérieux, c'est pas honteux? C'est les JO, quoi.
So my man right here is not feeling it. My man right here is not feeling it at all. You're going to tap into that French ancestry before they started surrendering and get it really, really active. You better get real active with some of that ancient French ancestry. The Louis and all of them is going to come right back in this young man right here because that's a crazy thing to see. Again, this is their reaction to the drag queen Last Supper. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. And I suspect that could be behind some of the power outages, some of the protests and whatnot. But I don't know that for certain or for sure. I do know that my man is not pleased. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. This is a sitting member of Congress and her staff. I don't know who this is necessarily. Okay, we got music. All right, we ain't trying to get a strike or nothing. Now, I don't know who this is. Are we doing YMCA? What is this music? I'm so old. I've never heard any of these songs. I don't know any of these TV references. Listen, I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen Mad Men. I've never seen Breaking Bad. I've seen like an episode of Breaking Bad, but I never really watched it. I don't know a lot of this stuff. But yeah, that's your Congress right there. That's your Congress. And that's what we do. We dance like the nurses. Okay, now let's take a look at some people out here in the forest, see what's happening. Man, all right. So is this like some kind of therapy? I want to know if it works. I want to know if you go out in the woods and you scream, you do a group scream with like 8 other women. Is that going to help you relieve some anxiety and stress? Well, you got a group scream and a group let's bash some twigs on the ground. Okay, I'm with it. Are you okay? Have you been beaten up? You got red under your eyes? What's going on? Now look, when you approach one of them in the street asking her a question about politics, hey, who you vote for? Trump or Biden? How are you going to get a rational response? All righty, so there we go. Are you guys going to go out in the group scream Hey, man, it might be a little fun. You might, go out there, bang some sticks on the ground. Yeah. Somebody said Planet of the Karyans, a Karyan training camp, the Karyan Command Center. Is that what that is? Shout out to them. Yeah, shout out to them. Hey, I'm not going to be out there in that kind of environment, but it is what it is. Now, we have more. Oh, we got more. Kamala. The reactions to Kamala running for president are all over the place. And her husband, the philandering, allegedly Doug Emhoff, has something to say. All right, let's put it on the screen.
Let me just make this clear. Vice President Harris has been and will be a strong supporter of Israel as a secure, democratic, and Jewish state, and she will always ensure that Israel can defend itself, period. That's who Kamala Harris is.
Okay, so shout out to him. The message is whatever, but this is her husband. Not really the pillar of masculinity, but that's him, Doug Emhoff. Now, look, the reason why I'm bringing up Doug Emhoff and talking bad about him a little bit is because I think that he's cheating on her with Jill. That's my opinion, my humble opinion, my personal opinion. I don't have any evidence aside from just what I've been able to see. Them being a little bit too buddy, always together in random moments, kissing her on the mouth at the State of the Union last year. That's him. So if you've not heard him speak before, that's who you're talking to. In his chair, twirling, she's going to be a great defender of Israel. She's going to be great. And that's who Kamala is. It's like, just sit still. Are we 55 or 15? But anyway, that's your man, Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband. Now we have more here. Here's a rally for, wait a minute. Here's a rally for, is it Kamala? Yeah. Here's a rally. We got music going on, so I'll turn that down. But this is the rally in the parking lot. Now, this is not the best turnout, but I guess it's good for them. It looks like the kind of turnout you would see when you tailgate for a small college football game. Like, I ain't talking about Alabama, Auburn, or something crazy. I'm talking about like some random college that's not really real big. That's kind of how it is out there. And I want to assume that there's quite a bit of money that was spent on organizing this. We got professional signs and things of this nature. Probably quite a bit of money spent on this. A lot of similar vehicles. Oh, yeah. But that is considered a good turnout for Kamala Harris. Golf carts. Yeah, golf carts. Now, hold on. Do you see this sign? Look at this. Oh, so cringe. Pronounce the name right, ABL. It's Kamala. You see that? So cringe. Hey, y'all got to stop, man. Like the cringe factor, I can't take it, man. I'm going to be cringed out. Y'all going to cringe me just into early retirement, man. I can't do it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna say Kamala. I don't really. It's whatever, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, here's Bill Maher. Bill Maher, I've not seen this yet, but I know he probably had a pretty good take. A lot of the captions say that he nukes Kamala Harris. Let's see if he does or not. Check it out. And let's get some sound and video that might help us.
Vice President will get all of Biden's campaign money. And on the Democrats' best issue, abortion, she's a walking reminder to women that Republicans are coming for the abortion pill. She won't just protect Plan B. She is Plan B. And as a former prosecutor, Kamala was putting criminals in jail back before liberals decided that was a bad thing. Now that CVS is locking the shaving cream behind plexiglass, Democrats are coming around to her again. Harris would be the first woman president, first black woman president, and first Asian president. But I don't vote for who will be the first. I vote for who will win. And for whatever reason, Harris has never been popular. You can count the number of delegates she won in the 2020 primaries on one hand.
Kamala Harris, she was never popular. 2020, she polled pretty much dead last. Nobody likes her. In real life, they don't like her. They say she's corny. They say she is weird. They look at her cop past, prosecuting people for ticky-tack charges, while at the same time, California is still in the crazy state, and the big cities like where she was born, Oakland, California. It's a mess out there. It's a whole big mess, and everybody knows it.
As long as that hand has no fingers. In 3 years as vice president, she's been quieter than an electric car. And like an electric car, your MAGA uncle can't explain why she fills him with homicidal rage.
So weird. Like stuff like that, man. That's why. See, look, okay. That little line right there, that's why I can't really connect to Bill Maher. Some say that Bill Maher has become conservative. No, he hasn't. Bill Maher just stayed right where he was at because the left got so weird. He's always been a leftist. Always. He's going to thumb his nose at you if you got a Trump hat on. He's just a regular normie leftist that got left by the left because they got so far with the LGBT and everything else.
She just does. Sometimes life isn't fair. It's not fair that she's not popular. She's intelligent and accomplished, and in fact was put in charge of the border. And look at how, okay, bad example.
So yeah, that's his take on Kamala, and we got a lot more. The people out in the streets, people like us, have the best takes. Now, this is a good one. This is on the Breakfast Club. Y'all know the Breakfast Club. I've said it a million times. This is the program where Joe Biden famously told Charlamagne, hey, look, if you don't know whether you voting for me or for Trump, then you ain't black. That is this same show. Okay. Now, it's crazy because even after that, the guy who that happened to, Charlamagne, didn't really publicly rebuke the president. He didn't say anything against him. He was just like, he's not going to endorse him. But it's like, who are you, Charlamagne the God, to endorse somebody? Endorse? What you mean? You mean just recommend them? You know what I mean? But anyway, let's check this out. A caller called in and gave their opinion about Kamala Harris.
Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's your name, bro?
My name's Callie. What's up? Good morning. How y'all doing?
Callie, good morning. What's your thoughts, brother?
Callie. Hey, man, I just want to say y'all the GOAT. Y'all been helping me survive mornings for a decade now, from college to work. So I just want to say that.
So let's pause for a minute because of copyright. They've been on for a very long time. They've been pretty much entrenched into the community for years and years and years. My man right here said a decade I've been watching y'all, listening to y'all. So we ain't talking about from what he says, just a Johnny come lately random viewer.
We old, baby. Let's go.
Man. Thank you, Kevin.
Just new, but we old. Me and him be old.
Hey, man, oldness is greatness, you know?
You already know.
I don't think America's ready. I don't think America's ready for a female president. You know what? I'm a black man, and I absolutely do not want another Democratic president in there. I think we should give the Republicans another try. There's a lot of agendas that the Democratic Party has kind of put into place that I don't support. I think they're destroying the black man. They're destroying the black family. I think they're ruining our country. And if you're living in New York like I am, man, this place is a financial nightmare, not to mention crime. I think if we put Trump back in there, man, it's going to be amazing. Kamala cannot do what he's going to do to bring this country back to where it needs to be. And this is not a race thing, because that's the number one thing they like to say when they talk about Trump and how he's a criminal and blah, 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 blah. I don't think any of that matters. His policies are what we need to focus on, and he's going to get us back where we need to go. Kamala is not ready.
Hey, not ready. You just get ready. Like, what you talking about? She know what she up against. Like, you just get ready. I don't understand. Like, she not ready. How y'all going to tell somebody they not ready?
I mean, come on. This lady right here, she's from Baltimore, so she might not really be. You could be from Baltimore and be educated, but also you could be from Baltimore and not educated, very poorly educated. I think that's just hilarious. So she's a comedian that came on later to replace Angela Yee after she left. Now, what do you mean just get ready? If you're not ready, get ready. Is it that simple? Okay, let's say it's time to do open heart surgery, and they appoint a guy with little to no training to do it. And somebody says, hey, I have an objection to that appointment. This guy does not have the necessary experience to do open heart surgery. He's not ready. When he gets more education and more experience and has proper tutelage, and I don't know how they really do it, but once he goes through the process of becoming educated to do that thing, then he'll be ready. But not right now. Listen, the election is in November. So if you're not ready in August, how are you going to just be this miraculous person in a very short period of time? Okay, what was that? 3 months, August, September. You got a very short period of time to get this done. So yeah, my man was very articulate in his disagreement with the Democratic Party and what they're doing, and his decision to vote differently. And her rebuttal was anything but articulate. He said all that. She said, "Oh, just get ready." Really? And that right there, my friends, is the divide in the community. One black man comes and gives his point of view very clearly, straight to the point, without emotion, in about 45 seconds, maybe. Quick, easy. And then somebody else in the community just pours water on it like it's nothing and says, "Oh, just get ready." A completely anti-intellectual point. That's what we're dealing with in the community. And it's hard to break that among older people, especially because they refuse to learn anything new. But anyway, that was my rant. That was my rant. That right there is a big part of the problem. An education gap, intellectual. So we're not all the same. That kind of proves it right there. So then when the Democrats come out and say, "Oh, well, look, if you don't know whether you voting for me or for Trump, then you ain't black." Well, I just saw two black folks right there with complete different mindsets, different points of view, everything is different. So why does it matter what color I am to vote for you if people that are the same color can think wildly differently like that? It's crazy. But anyway, I'm ranting. Let's keep on rocking here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Now we got an elder speaking. I've seen him before. I don't know his exact handle. I see a handle right here, but that might or may not be him. Now, this is about the 44,000 black women who raised $1.5 million to the Kamala Harris campaign. Can I say something right quick? I mean, I don't want to be mean against these women. I want to applaud their effort at coming together to do something, although I don't agree with what they actually did. First. Second, 1.5 million, is that a lot of money? 1.5, is that a lot of money? I'm just asking. 44,000 people raising 1.5 million. Anyway, let's hear this take on that accomplishment, quote unquote.
These sisters, 40,000 of them got together and raised $1.5 million for Kamala Harris.
Okay, and then it's like a little pause in the video, and then basically says a Zoom call of 44,000 women raised 1.5 million for Kamala Harris in 3 hours.
Campaign contribution. How stupid and foolish was that? You're gonna take $1.5 million, and what you gonna get? You gonna get your $1.5 million back? If you invest money in something, you expect to get something back. What are they gonna get back? What is black people in general gonna get back from Kamala Harris? Nothing.
I mean, that's a really good point that he made there. If you invest, quote unquote, $1.5 million, what are you going to get back? What are you going to get in return for your efforts? 44,000 of you raising $35 each on average. Shout out to you guys in the chat with the quick math. 44,000 of you raising $35 on average on a Zoom call. What's that going to do? How is that really going to help? And if it does help, what are you going to get in return for it? If it helps Kamala at all, how do you get helped? It can't just be a one-way thing, man. That's like the slave mentality where all your efforts are for the slave master, not for yourself. not for your loved ones and your community. It's for the master. All your works, all your efforts go to enriching them, to benefiting them and not you. And a lot of people, regardless of what color you are, fall up under that mentality. Listen, when I vote for a politician, it's not about just, oh, I love them so much, I'm going to vote for them. Or they're black or they're white. Nah, I don't care nothing about that. I could not care less. It's literally impossible for me to care any less about race and all that kind of stuff. I'm just looking at who's going to be the best for me and my loved ones and the country, quite frankly, because if we all do well, then I do well, then I do better. If we all do well, then I do better. You know, I'm an American. I love my country. I don't love these individual politicians. I appreciate them and I support them when they do the right things, but that's where it stops. It's a business relationship. It ain't nothing more than that. My love for country and my friends and family supersedes any politician ever. You know, they're there to do a job and that's it. And if they can't do their job appropriately, then I'm not going to vote for them. If they're in there and they're not doing their job well, I'm going to say, get them out. Get somebody else in there. I don't care. It could be my own grandmama. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. But look, here's a Kamala Harris ad. This was released on July 25th. Let's check it out.
In this election, we each face a question. What kind of country do we want to live in? There are some people who think we should be a country of chaos, of fear, of hate. But us, we choose something different. We choose freedom.
Wait a minute. Y'all got to remind me, before we continue with the ad, y'all got to remind me to find that story where she said that she was a baby and she squealed out, freedom. Now, I don't think she ever told the story verbally, but I think she said that in an interview. I got to find that. I must find that.
The freedom not just to get by, but get ahead. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom to make decisions about your own body. We choose a future where no child lives in poverty, where we can all afford health care, where no one is above the law.
I mean, you just throwing out random things. You're going to inch out poverty? How you going to do that? How you going to do that? An impossible task to accomplish.
We believe in the promise of America, and we're ready to fight for it. Because when we fight, we win. So join us. Go to KamalaHarris.com and let's get to work.
I'ma keep on running because the winner don't quit on themselves.
They literally just switched her out. They switched Joe Biden out and gave y'all Kamala. The Democrats, y'all Democrats said you wanted Joe Biden, and all the primaries, he won them. It stomped everybody out. Kurt stomped him. There was no true challenger. Nobody was against Joe Biden. Nobody. Everybody voted for him during the primary. He's the presumptive nominee. And in right before the DNC in the 0 hour, they say, nah, go ahead, Kamala. You're going to be the president. All the delegates that should vote for Joe Biden because he won, they're going to vote for you now. Or here's what will probably happen. What will probably happen is that Joe Biden will get the nomination at the DNC, and then he'll decline it. He'll reject it. Because if you guys notice, at the RNC, Trump and J.D. Vance in their speech said, I accept your nomination. But in the case of Joe, he may be announced as the winner of the nomination because of the primary, which, look, they have to say that he won the primary. They have to say that he is the nominee. And then he has to say, I decline it. I reject it. Then at that point, delegates will say, all right, let's just put in Kamala. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, Joe already dropped out, but he got enough votes in the primary. You see what I'm saying? He dropped out now, but he already won the nomination. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, but that was total cringe for sure. Total cringe from Kamala. Oh, I got to find the freedom thing. I got to find that. I'm not sure if it's anywhere. Okay. They're saying that here's a video from The Hill. Okay. Shout out to The Hill for this.
In an October 2020 interview with Elle magazine, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris told a story from her childhood, which she attended her first civil rights march. She was apparently fussing in her stroller, and when her mother asked, "What do you?"
All right. I'm gonna read it right here. I'm gonna read it. So this was from a written interview. All right. Now, shout out to whoever this is, Ayana. She says in the caption, "The absurdity of Kamala Harris is complete. Now she's stealing stories from MLK." Now it says in her wide-ranging interview with the magazine, Harris, a child of immigrants from India and Jamaica, remembered the first civil rights march she attended in a stroller from which she fell, getting separated from her family. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Quote, "My mother tells a story about how I'm fussing," unquote, Harris told Ashley C. Ford for Elle magazine. And she's like, "Baby, what do you need? What do you need?" And I just looked at her and said, "Freedom." There's no way that ever happened. Kamala Harris, listen to me very clearly. There is no way that ever happened. And you plagiarized it because MLK said that. So what are we even talking about? And I don't even believe MLK either. But you most certainly didn't have it happen to you. And to go back a little bit, the little part right here about separated from her family, that's golden. Because you know the whole thing about the border, they're getting locked up, separated from their family. If you get locked up right now, like let's say one of y'all, but you wouldn't because you guys are really geniuses. If one of y'all decided to go rob a 7-Eleven and you get locked up by the cops in there eating donuts, okay, you got the gun out in 7-Eleven, you got the cop right there with a big batch of Krispy Kreme straight from the glass. Okay, you're getting locked up immediately. You're going straight to the penitentiary. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Now, when you get locked up for robbing the 7-Eleven, you're not taking your wife and your kids with you, are you? No, you're not. That is called family separation. The same thing happens at the border. If you get apprehended trying to break into the country illegally, you get detained and you would not be detained with your family. But that was nice little touch right there to add that into the speech, to the fake plagiarized and never happened. But yeah, Kamala Harris is a nut, a complete nut. I mean, some things I feel like they sabotage her with that. Why would you plagiarize MLK out of all people in the world? It just doesn't make any sense. You might as well plagiarize Mahatma Gandhi or something crazy like that. MLK, you could have picked a more obscure person to plagiarize. That's just my humble opinion. Anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like freedom, really? Freedom? That's what we're going to say, Kamala Harris? Come on. What are we talking about? Fell out the stroller. Freedom. Ain't no way. It's just not real. All right. So also we have another cringe. Listen, you're going to see quite a bit of cringe here. Quite a bit of cringe. Now, she went on RuPaul's Drag Race to announce her presidency, or at least this could have been part of her campaign stop. Okay. Michigan, Ohio. Nah, we going to RuPaul's Drag Race.
We are all in this together, and your vote is your power. So please make sure your voice is heard this November and register to vote at vote.gov.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. Now, I got a couple of questions. Now, that's RuPaul right there in the back, or is it not? I don't know who that is. Now, is that the boy from NSYNC right there in the blue, or Backstreet Boys? I don't know his name, but isn't that one of the guys? So I guess, he kind of rebranded himself as a LGBT influencer or like a LGBT TV host. I don't know. But yeah, that's where she's going to be. That tells you all you got to know right there about who's on what. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, the border czar. That's crazy. The border czar is the mainstream media are trying to tell you that Kamala Harris was never the border czar. That's what they want to say. oh, she wasn't the border czar. You ain't see that. Don't believe that. Well, we got video backing it up that she was in fact called the border czar, and that was supposed to be her role. Now, as I was saying on my man's Anton stream, well, as somebody else said, shout out to 2K on the Anton stream. 2K was like, look, well, maybe her job was actually, maybe her role was fulfilled by being the border czar. Maybe the job was to keep the border open and not have it closed, because the border is sure wide open. Now, if her job was to keep it closed, she most certainly failed in that job. So anybody with a pair of eyes can see it. We're being affected by the migrant crisis every single day, especially in big cities. You got Chicago. The airport is basically a migrant shelter. Same thing with Boston, Logan Airport, migrant shelter. New York City, they're flooded with migrants. You got migrant violence, crime, drugs, all that kind of stuff. Anchor babies being born at a rapid pace, so you can't deport them. There's all kind of stuff going on. We see how it's affecting us every single day. Now, if her job was to be the border czar and to control that, obviously, it'd be easy to say, well, look, your job was to control the border. You couldn't even do that. So how are you going to be the president and control the entire country? You had one job but couldn't complete that. That'd be the logic. That'd be what was said. But now the media are trying to say, no, you guys are wrong. She was never the border czar. Like, what? Really? Let's go see the video.
Quote,
let's go see the video.
Unquote, border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
The videos are endless. The videos are endless. There goes Angela Rye, always angry. Look at that scowl. Look at that scowl. Angela Rye, you want to just find peace in your life? Good grief. But here she goes, lying on TV. And this is why I talk about them this way, because they're liars. They get on TV and they lie. One thing about me, I'm going to always keep it real. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on in my mind. I give you my opinion and I give you the facts. And I'll tell you even to not even believe me. Do your own research. What I would never, ever do to you guys is get on TV and tell you a lie. Ever. You may not like what I say all the time. It doesn't make a difference. I'm not going to get on TV and lie. Angela Rye, all the rest of them are getting on TV and lying because they know better. They know better. They know that she was appointed to be the border czar. They know that because they're on TV all the time, every day. They work at these places. They live in these places. You probably live in D.C. You were hearing about her being called the border czar. You've seen news stories calling her out for not controlling the border because she's a border czar. So how are you going to get on TV now and lie that she was never the border czar? You interviewed Kamala Harris, Angela Rye. You interviewed her. You know her. Why would you lie like this?
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
Okay, now wait a minute. Okay, no. I'm about to say something else. But yeah, you saw all those clips of them speaking about her being the border czar right when she was appointed back in 21 and now in 24. Oh, that never happened. What? Really? Why? Like, it's so easy to debunk these lies, but you know why they lie, though. The reason why they lie is because they think that you guys aren't going to catch it. They think the average viewer who's watching television still in 2024 for some reason, they think, or whoever sees that clip on social media who may just be keyed into leftist stuff, they think that they'll just believe it. They'll just believe it. And if anybody says something to the contrary, even if there's video, even if there's documentation from the White House itself, they'll say it's fake. Just like the whole thing with the laptop. We saw Hunter Biden on the laptop, no clothes on, birthday suit, smoking dope. With the underage or whatever was going, we saw him on the laptop doing that. And what did they say right when that leaked out? Oh, it's fake. That's fake, man. That's Russian propaganda. What? I'm looking at Hunter Biden smoke crack on camera right in front of my face. That's not him? Nah, that's propaganda from Russians. And then they came out later. Oops, sorry. Oops. Listen, you're lying. It's too much lying going on. Look, you are an intelligence official. If you didn't tell, or if you couldn't tell that was in fact Hunter Biden smoking crack on camera, then maybe you shouldn't be an intelligence officer. If you couldn't tell, what's more likely is that they knew and they were trying to cover it up because it would have hurt Joe Biden in an election. So let's stop the lying. Let's stop. And it's gotten so bad now you can't trust the mainstream media or the federales at all. No, I have zero trust in these people. That's why Trump was always so popular among many of us in the entire nation, the entire world, really. That's why he was so popular, because he was not of that. Tell you whatever you want to hear. He was straight up with it. Whether you liked it or you didn't like it, it was just straight up. I prefer you be that way rather than just telling me lies and trying to gaslight me and manipulate me. All right. That's kind of what I'm on. But yeah, there's videos. There's everything. Okay. So it's a mess. It's a whole big mess. Oh, we have an Obama endorsement. But before we get to that, hold on. More about the whole border kerfuffle. More about that. Let me get it queued up. Right, there we go. Remember, this was her response. Don't come to the border. Yeah, that'll teach some migrants to get a stern talking to from this 5'2" lady. Don't come. All right. And they still came.
Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border.
So, you're giving the speech about securing the border. You're telling people don't come to the border, but you weren't the border czar? I don't understand. This is a border czar speech.
Do not come. Do not come. The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border.
But see, you know what? I could show that to somebody. Somebody on the left could tell me. They could say, oh, well, MSNBC said that Kamala was never the border czar. So you're wrong, ABL. I can show them this video and they'll still disbelieve it. This is what Yuri Bezmenov said. I speak on him quite a bit because everything he said is coming true. A lot of it. I got to find one thing. You're speaking about people not believing certain things. Yuri Bezmenov, former KGB agent, spoke about subversion and different things, ways to topple nations without having to actually fire a shot, communism, socialism, whatever. And he was saying people are not going to believe factual things. You could show them pictures, videos, whatever. They're not going to believe it. You could drag them down to the actual concentration camp and show them dead bodies, graves. They're not going to believe it because in their mind, they've already been defeated. Their mind has already been defeated. So it's over. It's like being assimilated to Borg. That's it. You're part of the system. There's nothing else that can really be done. You got to get free from that some kind of way, if possible, or being in the Matrix. Listen, there's not going to be any kind of external thing that can interrupt what you're experiencing in the Matrix. You're inside of the pod. You're plugged in. If a whole war is happening outside the pod, you're not going to know about it. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of how it is. But anyway, Mike Jones asked me, what's up with the platinum plan from Trump? Well, I mean, I don't know. Is he going to do it now? I don't know. It was a thing. He was like, hey, man, y'all vote me in 2020 and y'all got it. And we didn't vote him in. So I don't know now. You know, the migrants got that money. The migrants have that money now. The migrants, listen. So if you guys don't know, the platinum plan from Trump, that was a proposed plan back in 2020 that had Ice Cube involved with some of it. The proposed plan would have given $500 billion with a B, $500 billion to a lot of low-income communities, a lot of black areas, but not necessarily all black, because legally you can't have a thing that's just for one particular race. That's discrimination. But anyway, it would have impacted a lot of black communities in a positive way. $500 billion. Now, what did black folks say? Nah, we don't want that. We want Joe Biden, the guy who gives us nothing, promises us nothing, says, look, vote for me. And if you kind of confused on the matter, you're not even really black. That's what he said. Trump said, hey, $500 billion. Biden said, man, forget y'all. I ain't doing nothing. Just vote, because if you don't vote, you ain't black. That's what he did, and that's what we did. So that money right there is gone, in my opinion. Oh, well, maybe we got to just learn to do better the first time rather than try to make it up the second time. Do right the first time. Stop making these some stupid mistakes. Why keep voting for one party that does nothing for you? Now, I'm not trying to say you got to be having your hand out and be just dependent upon the government, but there are some things the government can do to make your life better or worse, like printing and spending money, like giving billions to foreign nations, like getting involved with foreign wars that you, young guys, might need to get drafted, go over there and die for. Oh, yeah, young guys, 18 years old. Hey, man, there is no more draft, right? You can't get drafted anymore into the military. But they could change it. They've changed it before. First, there was no draft. Then there was. Then there wasn't a draft for a while. Then they brought it back. They can do that right now. They sure could do it. It'd be a whole ad campaign. They're going to say, you know, the young guys, the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas, they're too soft, they're too feminine, they got to get out there and work. They'll say that, and then that'd be the excuse to get them into war, to go over and die for no other reason than to generate revenue. But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, here we go with the Obama endorsement. This has been posted on Barack Obama's official Twitter page. Let's check it out. Pantsuit already. Shout out to Hillary Clinton. Listen, if you're going to go with the Hillary Clinton look, if you're going to be a younger, kind of racially ambiguous Hillary Clinton, that ain't going to work, because you see what happened to her the first time in 2016. You got Hillary Clinton got stomped into wine by Trump in 2016, and Trump had half of the money, and he was a newcomer as far as the political world. You know, well, not really a newcomer, but he was new to many.
Kamala.
Hello. Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. You're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michelle, Barack, this means so much to me. I am looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
Now, oh boy, there's so much there. I think that was a fake phone call. Well, not fake, but meaning this, it was probably just pre-recorded. It probably was just them leaving the message, and then she was responding to it while holding the phone, while not actually being on the phone. Okay. Now, she's on the phone with somebody I can see right here, and they made sure to have that detail in there. And I think that the call might be on speaker, as you can see, you know, but I don't know if it's Barack and Big Mike. I don't know if it's them. Yeah, I mean, but it don't even really matter. Ultimately, it don't even really matter. It took him long enough to endorse her. You know, first he was trying to like not endorse her. It took him a while to actually endorse her. That should have been instantly, right away, endorse her. But it's like, it's crazy because is she running? Is she going to be on anybody's? Are you guys who may vote Democrat, are you going to be able to vote for her at all until the primary? I mean, until the general election? Basically, there's no voting for her right now. All they're doing is endorsing her for the actual general election. But no primary votes at all is crazy. That's totally nuts. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Kamala Harris for doing that. Hey, and shout out to the Obamas for endorsing her. Not really a big fan of them at all. Not really a big fan. Now, J.D. Vance. Did you hear about J.D. Vance, the whole childless cat lady comments? Now, he got in trouble recently because he made some comments a while back about childless cat ladies. People got offended. Let's go back here. I'm not quite sure when this was, but it had to be a while ago because you got Tucker on Fox, and we know he's been gone for a little while. So let's see the comments. Then we're going to see what his response is too. We're going to see the comments, then the response from mainstream media, and then his response to it.
But look, what I was basically saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it? I just wanted to ask that question and propose. But
so his whole thing is, if you are a childless person trying to be a leader, maybe you shouldn't be to be the president. You know, the whole childless cat lady thing. And he named people. He was like AOC, Pete Buttigieg. Well, I guess Buttigieg now, I guess they bought some children, which is a different story. So Pete Buttigieg and AOC and Kamala don't have any children. So he was saying that might not be a good look because you don't have any direct stake in this country. If you have kids, I guess the line of thinking is that you have skin in the game. You want to do best for this country because you want your kids to have a better future than you had in the past. So I guess that was the whole thing. Now, some got offended. Some got offended, and then they wanted to say something. Yeah, somebody said European leaders, yeah. Somebody said you agree with JD. Somebody said you should slap him. Slap him. Don't slap him. Yeah, so let's keep on going here. We have the reaction from mainstream media. Then we're going to get to a little bit more.
we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are.
And again, this was, when they say this was back in 2021. So, of course, they're going to bring up old stuff because now J.D. Vance is running. Anything that you did, any of your old stuff is going to get brought back up. You want to be in the limelight. You want to be in this position. They're going to talk to your elementary school teacher. They're going to talk to your distant cousin you ain't seen since you've been 2 years old. They're going to do all of that. They're going to go back to your neighborhood where you used to live at back when you were in the third grade and investigate and see if everything you said is 100% fact. They're going to do that. And it's now happening with J.D. Vance. And also Kamala Harris, to be fair.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable, too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
So that's from a 2021 interview when J.D. Vance was an Ohio Senate candidate. Childless cat ladies. Joanna, the Daily Beast, of course, which you oversee, has written a lot about this because this has really taken off the last couple of days.
It's really taken off, propelled by an Instagram post by Jennifer Aniston, who is not someone that normally gets involved in politics, actually. And what's so fascinating about her is obviously she's America's sweetheart. She's saying, Mr. Vance, I really hope that your daughter, Mirabelle, doesn't get caught up in an IVF cycle because you're trying to take that away from her too. And she's got 50 million followers on Instagram. And also she's the sort of person, because everybody's watched Friends, and she is a friend to many Americans, that it reaches out beyond the news cycle. So people who aren't interested in news, who aren't news junkies, who aren't following this like crazy, actually get touched by the campaign. We're publishing a power list today of childless cat ladies. Who's on the top of it?
Oh my
Taylor
gosh.
Swift. Taylor Swift with 100 million followers on X. So extraordinary
extraordinary impact. And how crazy of him. He's the gift that keeps giving to comedians. We have a fabulous piece about him by Samantha Bee, the comedian, writing on The Beast today, saying that she started vomiting when she heard these comments. It's a comedy piece, so her cat had to take over the writing of it. So, and we're also seeing real interest. Traffic is through the roof on this story. People are engaged. And I think you saw the 160,000 white women that joined the call last night. You saw the...
Yeah, I saw that. What was that all about? Like, all of a sudden, all of a sudden now we can just have white-only events. That's funny. I thought that was a racist thing to do. If you got a bunch of white guys marching in Nashville, that's racist, even if they don't got no Nazi stuff on. But you got white women in the group chat. These people are so weird. So now we can identify. Now we can be white identifying and do things like that. I thought that was racist. Did you guys hear that? Let me go back a little bit.
Engaged. And I think you saw the 160,000 white women that joined the call last night. You saw the 50,000 black women on Sunday night. This is galvanizing women voters as well as men.
Just an extraordinary amount of enthusiasm right now. And I'd say politics 101. Don't anger Taylor Swift.
Yeah, so, but the Taylor Swift, though, the Swifties are dead serious, though. Like, I know a couple of Swifties, and they are so serious. It's not even the game. The Michael Jackson fever, it was nothing compared to the Swifties, in my opinion. Yeah, it's like Elvis, Beatles. But anyway, here's something from Reuters. This was on yesterday. Okay, let me see if I can get the headline without them trying to throw an ad up there and block it. There we go. Reuters. More than 160,000 people joined. That's funny. It says more than 160,000 people, but not white women, joined white women for Kamala Harris Zoom call. So basically, you had that many white women join that. I thought that was racist, but I guess we can now. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to remember this, that there was a white women only Zoom call, and it was fine to raise money for Kamala Harris. Now, if there's something for white men or white women that's not about Kamala Harris, and then the media says it's racist, I'm going to call foul. I'm going to say, y'all don't really care about that. You just want to try to use that to fight against a thing that you don't like. You want to say it's racist for white women to come together for Donald Trump because you don't like Donald Trump, not because of the white women. That's you see what I'm saying? That's kind of what's going on. I think there was a flyer or something. I'm gonna see if I can find that. The white women for Kamala. Imagine that. Listen, okay. Imagine a group called White Women for Donald Trump. Oh my, they'd be called Klansmen, Klanswomen, all of that. That's what they would be called. Because I saw the flyer. I was like, that can't be real. No way. But let me see if I can find it right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Yeah, here you go right here. Look at this. You're not going to believe this when you see it. You are not going to believe this. Watch. Look at this. Hold on. They had a flyer. They were advertising it. So it says, white women, answer the call. Show up for Kamala Harris, Thursday, July 25th. Virtual meeting, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Had a little QR code. Answer the call. But it says all welcome to attend. Everybody can, you don't got to be a white woman, but it does say white women come to this Zoom call. There's no way you could do that as a conservative person ever and get away with it and not be called a racist. That's crazy. That's totally nuts, man. Listen, I told y'all this year, this summer, this leading up to the election was going to be crazy. I didn't really have on my bingo card that we have white only Zoom calls not be called racist because they're supporting the Democratic Party. Very funny. Again, I'm going to save this poster. I might put that poster on my wall in my house. And then whenever I see a story like that, I'm going to bring this video up and then I'm going to show the poster in my hand. Like, there you go. I don't want to hear it. Exactly, Bletch. Why can't I just say women? Because they don't really mind reaching out to specific identity groups because they know that it works. And so now they're just saying, look, whatever. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And if you say that they're hypocrites, they're going to call you a racist. That's because they got control of the media. So since they control the media, they could do whatever they want to do, say whatever they want to say. It's crazy. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, let's look at what J.D. Vance said in response to the whole cat lady kerfuffle.
I know the media wants to attack me and wants me to back down on this, Megan, but the simple point that I made is that having children, becoming a father, becoming a mother, I really do think it changes your perspective in a pretty profound way. This is something, of course, we've recognized for hundreds of years in this country, that human civilization has always recognized. But there's a deeper point here, Megan. It's not a criticism of people who don't have children. I explicitly said in my remarks, despite the fact the media has lied about this, that this is not about criticizing people who, for various reasons, didn't have kids. This is about criticizing the Democratic Party for becoming anti-family and anti-child. We have to ask ourselves, Megan, why do we have masking of toddlers years after the pandemic ended? Why do we have the Harris campaign coming out this very morning, Megan, and saying that we should not have the child tax credit, which lowers tax rates for parents of young children? It's because they have become anti-family and anti-kid. And I'm proud to stand up for parents, and I hope that parents out there recognize that I'm a guy who wants to fight for you. I want to fight for your interests. I want to fight for your stake in the country, and that is what this is fundamentally about. The Democrats in the past 5-10 years, Megan, they have become anti-family. It's built into their policy. It's built into the way they talk about parents and children, and it's time that we called that out. I don't think we should back down from it, Megan. I think we should be honest about the problem.
There you go. So that's what he said. He said, "Look, I said what I said, and here's more clarity for you if you need it. But I said what I said. I stand on it. So shout out to him. All right, very very well done. And one more about Kamala and all this and that. People are talking about they're going to vote for her because she's black only. But here's the question: would those same people vote for Candace Owens? How about that? Why? And if not, then why not? Why would they not vote for Candace Owens? So, if Candace Owens in 2028, 2032, whenever, if she runs for president on the Republican side, would the same people who say they're going to vote for Kamala because she's a black woman vote for Candace Owens? Now all of a sudden, you ain't black. Ain't that's a Joe Biden. I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm answering my own question. If you don't know whether you're voting for the Democrat or the Republican, you're not even black. Oh, okay. So voting for a person of a different party affiliation who's also black as a black person means you're not black. Okay. Voting for a black person, but voting for a white person who's a Democrat as a black person means you're black. But if you vote for a black person who's a Republican as a black person, then you're not black. Got it. Okay. Some of these maths don't really add up. Some of these equations are a little bit janky, but I got it. I promise I do. I really do. But California, Gavin Newsom, do y'all think that Gavin will steal the nomination? You know, I'm hearing about that. You know, the convention could be crazy. Do y'all think Gavin will take a nomination away from Kamala? I don't think so. I think it's already done. They already got campaign ads out there. You already had Gavin Newsom endorse Kamala Harris. You already had both of the Obamas, Barack and Michelle. But that was really interesting that they did that because people have been pressuring Michelle Obama to run for quite a while, probably since before 2020, probably like 2018. They were trying to get her to do it. They might have been trying to get her to do it as soon as their run was over in 2016. But there's quite a bit of pressure on Michelle Obama to run. But you heard her and Barack on the phone saying, "Hey, you got our nominate, you got our endorsement. You're good." Gavin Newsom, same thing, gave her his endorsement. So I don't see any surprises happening at the convention. I think it's gonna be Kamala Harris. I think it'd be her. Yeah. So, and Gavin Newsom, speaking about him, the reason why I brought him up is because he has banned homeless encampments in the state, or to be more specific, he's given local jurisdictions the ability to ban homeless encampments, but it's up to them how they're going to do it. Now, my thing is, okay, you couldn't do it before. you couldn't do that before. You could just camp on the ground outside in front of people's houses, on the streets, blocking sidewalks, on the ground, doing whatever. You could do that. The things I see in California videos, I don't see to that. I don't see it to that level anywhere. I've seen tents. I've seen tents in Atlanta, Georgia. I've seen tents in Virginia Beach, Virginia, that area. I've seen tents everywhere. But I've never seen a tent city just everywhere you look. Open drug use chaos. I don't see that on the East Coast. That's a West. That's a left coast thing. That's a California thing. Good weather, very liberal policy. You can do whatever you want to do. You don't see that anywhere else other than the left coast. That's kind of how that goes. Yeah, so I don't know if they're going to really ban anything or not. Let me see if I can find a clip here. And shout out to you, Light Traveler. Says you passed through Chattanooga today. Shout out to you coming up through Chattanooga. Hopefully you were able to hit some good traffic and it wasn't too crazy with the construction on the interstate going toward the mountain. Hopefully it was a smooth ride for you. You know, if you went straight up through, well, either way it could be, yeah. If you went up or west, you would still be in that area unless you went on the side road. Hold on. JK says, I've lived in LA 10 plus years. You get used to it by blocking it out. FM is a mentality. That's crazy. I don't know how y'all deal with it. The Real Gospel Chop says in California, tent cities are right across the street from police stations. That's crazy. That's totally nuts. All right. Let me see. Marta Allen says, last ditch effort. Moms of California are putting together another recall of Gavin. It ain't gonna, I appreciate the effort, but it's California. If you recall Gavin, who are you gonna get it put? If you recall Gavin, who's gonna replace him? It'd be somebody just the same, in my opinion, because it's just California. California is just too big, too liberal, controlled by the liberal places. That's all. LA, San Fran. As long as those are dominant, what are you gonna do? Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can find the homeless situation. Here we go.
Breaking news this morning, we're hearing from Governor Gavin Newsom after he issued an executive order that directs local authorities to begin dismantling homeless encampments. KTLA's Omar Lewis live now in Hollywood with those details. Omar, good morning.
Jessica, good morning. Yeah, that executive order from the governor is aimed at dismantling thousands of homeless encampments just like this one here on Hollywood Boulevard this morning. The move follows a landmark Supreme Court decision which gave local leaders greater authority to remove homeless encampments. And this morning on X, Governor Newsom releasing a video statement about the new executive order. Take a listen.
I don't think there's anything more urgent and more frustrating than addressing the issue of encampments in the state of California. Over the course of the last number of years, the state has stepped up, where in the past we provided no support, no resources to cities and counties to clean up encampments like this. Today, we've invested now over $1 billion in encampment resolution grants.
The plan from the governor is now ordering California cities and counties to adopt local policies and to use all available resources when it comes to how best to dismantle homeless encampments.
I mean, this is crazy. You're looking like third world country. Third world country, you got slums. You have slums in California. That's what you have here. That's what these are, they're slums. You got slums all over the place, developing countries. It makes sense for a place like Brazil maybe to have some stuff like this. But United States, yes, here we are. We have them. We can't say we don't. We sure do.
It also encourages local governments to ramp up enforcement that emulates the state's models. Now, state agencies now provide 48 to 72 hours notice before clearing encampments, and personal belongings will be bagged, tagged, and stored for at least 60 days. The Supreme Court's decision has left cities in a conundrum, however, weighing the need for enforcement against the rights of those who have nowhere else to go. Enforcement also remains an unresolved issue, as the state cannot compel cities to adopt these new measures, but can only advise and incentivize them through funding control. Local leaders like LA's Mayor Karen Bass will now be trying to balance enforcement with compassion. Take a listen.
Yeah, we don't got to hear the rest of that, but you see what's going on here. You see kind of what's happening. I'm trying to read the tent here. We got like a little designer tent. That's crazy. A designer tent is out of this world. Shout out to Rebel Without a Reason. I'm stuttering. Rebel Without a Reason sent me the Kamala Harris Freedom video. All right. I thought it was just a written article, but she said this story on TV. Now, this man right here, this is Jonathan Capehart. Remember Jonathan Capehart? He was crying on camera. Excuse me. He was crying because he was speaking to Michael Fanone, the January 6th officer. Thanking him for what he did. Thank you for what you do. That's him. He's interviewing Kamala Harris.
My mother would tell a funny story about how, like, one day and I was fussing, and so I'm fussing and fussing. It's much cuter when she would tell the story, but she'd say, so then she would look down at me and, Kamala, what do you want? What do you want? And I looked back up at her and I said, freedom.
Kamala, hear me. Listen, Kamala, just human to human, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. That story right there and your reaction, you sound crazy. You sound nuts, ma'am. Completely nuts. One more time. I got to run that back. Rebel Without a Reason, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Then my mother would tell a funny story about how, like, one day and I was fussing, and so I'm fussing and fussing. It's much cuter when she would tell the story, but she'd say, so then she would look down at me and, Kamala, what do you want? What do you want? And I looked back up at her and I said, freedom.
There's no way that story ever happened. There is no way that story ever happened. Why even make up that lie? What is that going to do for you? And you plagiarize it from MLK. On top of that, it makes it worse. Not only are you a liar, but you're a plagiarizer. Why? There's no way no baby going to talk about some freedom. Ain't no way. And like, what kind of freedom you want, Kamala Harris? What? Like, you had good parents and you were okay. What are we talking about? Freedom from what? That's Kamala Harris. That's her. So yeah, shout out to y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, there was some news that came out that a lot of us are already known for a long time. I just wanted to show it right quick if I can find it. It's talking about Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, as you guys may call him. Talking about he may be involved in the Tupac shooting. It's like, yeah, everybody know that. That ain't nothing new. Because a guy got locked up recently for the Tupac shooting. Happened 27 years ago, by the way, 1997. It happened way back then. He gets arrested, and then now they're trying to say that Puff was involved. But everybody, that story is old as time. That story, we knew Puff did that in 1998. Really like 1996 when he did it. So it says new court documents have allegedly implicated Diddy in Tupac's murder. Diddy named 77 times by prosecutors in Tupac Shakur murder document as suspect accuses him of ordering a hit on the rapper and prosecutors' last legal filing. Diddy has been accused by Keefe D of paying $1 million for Tupac's assassination. Yeah, everybody know that. Everybody know that because Puff was close with some of the Crips in LA and some of the street guys in New York. They said they put the money on his head. The money exchanged hands. I think Keefe D was in the car with Baby Lane. It's a whole big long story, but basically, Puff paid a guy named Von Zip the $1 million for those Crip guys to delete Tupac. But of course, Von Zip kept the money. They didn't even get paid. They just killed him for no reason. That's an old story. That's old as time. That's nothing new. Everybody knows that in the street, especially. So now they want to say in 2024 we're going to arrest Puff Daddy. Man, I should have did that back in 1996 when, as soon as Pac got deleted, it would have been easy to put 2 and 2 together. It would have been easy. But things like this happen only when people want somebody to get locked up. Only when it's advantageous for it to happen. That's kind of how that whole thing goes. High profile cases like that, sometimes they get left alone on purpose. Everybody knew that. That's the oldest story in the book. Now they want to say that they did something, please. People are so weird. People are so weird. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We got super chats to get to. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Where we at here? Shout out to John O'Connor for becoming a member. Thank you to O. Archie, who says, can you define what black culture is? That's a good question, actually. That's a very good question. So I would say black culture is what black Americans have been able to. I gotta think about what I'm going to say carefully, because I want to answer your question the appropriate way, and I don't want any confusion. So, matter of fact, I got to answer it this way. Give me a little bit of time. Let's go back. Let's go back to slavery times. Blacks in the field were separate from blacks in the house and the whites, for the most part. If you're in the house, or you're just a white farmer who's not a slave owner, you were not around black people at all for the most part. Not a lot. Not that much. So you lived separately. Therefore, your families develop separate habits. And as that continues after slavery, you're going to have the white part of town, the black part of town. You continue to live apart. You may interact if I'm a black person working at your company. I might, and it's so separate. We were so separate. I'll give you an example. When I went to the Swan House in Atlanta, it's this really big old house. You could tour it. You have a tour guide telling you about the house. It's a beautiful house. I mean, ceilings as tall as, I don't even know. I feel like it was like 80 foot tall. I'm exaggerating, but very tall ceilings, beautiful architecture, just an amazing house. An old house, but beautiful. Now, certain parts of the house were for the help, quote unquote. And it didn't look the same beauty, the same type of, you could tell this is where the workers go. This is not for them to have opulence. This is for them to work. There will also be quarters for them to work and to stay in the house. You go all the way upstairs in the basement, in the attic type area. It's bare bones, no beauty, just straight up wood. It's different in the same house where you go downstairs and it's beautiful. And that kind of tells you how different and separate we were. So as whites stay among themselves, blacks stay among themselves, we have different sayings, different colloquialisms, different habits, different music, religion, everything is different. Ways we speak, accents, vernacular is different. Now, when you get into the South and in areas where we're really kind of concentrated heavily, South Carolina, Georgia, you're going to see less of a difference between the blacks and the whites. But Chicago is so pronounced because the whites were up there by themselves without the black folks. Then here come the black folks and the Great Migration. And a lot of us still are in the South suburbs. A Chief Keef is different than your average Chicago Cubs or White Sox, whatever it is in the North. The North and the South are way different than Chicago. Very, very different. So when talking about black culture, to come back to that, black culture is what has been developed from black folks being isolated in this country. And you have certain things that you do as a people when you're in the community, isolated. Same way with Appalachian culture is not the same as like East Coast, New York City. It's completely night and day different. Appalachian culture is more different. Put it to you this way. I'll put it to you this way. I'll wrap it up. I ain't gonna take too much time talking. A white person in Appalachia is more different than a white person in New York than a white person in Atlanta and a black person in Atlanta, but still we're different. You see? So that's what it is. It's a separation. It's a division and living separately, living isolated. This is why we had the whole thing about I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. White guy says it's a threat. Black guy says it's nothing to worry about at all. The reason why the white guy said it was a threat is because he didn't know what it meant. And it goes back to the scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin where Kevin Hart was about to fight Roman DeMarco in front of Steve Carell. And he said, look, you're throwing these big words at me. I don't know what it means. So I'll take it as disrespect. That's how that works. That's where you have cultural clashes that happen. It could be among black folks to other black folks. Like me being from where I am, and we get the New York guys that come down, I hate. New York guys, I hate. When I was a kid, I would hate New York guys. But we all black, but we're not the same. We down in Virginia living our life, doing our thing. Here come the guys from New York. They want to be all pretty and flashy and talking fast. It's like, shut up. Now you're in Virginia. You're not in New York no more. You're not hard. You're not scaring me with your accent. I don't care if you're from I'm from Brooklyn. Okay, so what? So what? Brooklyn, Bronx, wherever. You get stomped in the mouth like everybody else. Cultural differences. Okay, I'm done. So hopefully that answered your question. Thank you to Apple Blocker All Puff Daddy, who says, breaking news, the Secret Service did not have a drone for the July 13th Trump rally because the Canadian Olympic women's soccer team borrowed it to spy on New Zealand. No way. No way. He also says ABL opinion on pro sports teams spying on rivals. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. I mean, I don't know how you're really going to do anything about that, really. Just have better security, I suppose. Keep better secrets. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. Eddie B says Appalachian culture is absolutely crazy. The way they talk, the way they speak, the way they act. It's like stepping back in time. And from Appalachia, forgive me, but you know what I mean. You're right. And you know what? Some of us take that as a compliment. Yes, we are different. Yes, we do speak differently. Yes, we are kind of like stuck back in time. Yes, absolutely. But is that a bad thing? Because look at what's happening right now. I tell you what you're not going to see in West Virginia is drag queen story time. You're not going to see that nowhere. Nowhere where you see that. Maybe like Berkeley Springs, some of these DC people that come to West Virginia in the Panhandle, but in Huntington, Charleston, Berkeley, no, you're not seeing that down there. Thank you to VFR 1200 who says, my taxes are burdened by what has been. Trump 2024, right on. Shout out to Apple again who says, I want to know Ivan's opinion on assassination attempt. Also, he says, latest update on attempted hit on President Trump 2 weeks ago. 3-man local SWAT team. One went home early. One went to washroom and another forgot his ID. So the other one let him in. Roof not guarded. How convenient. Yeah, how convenient is that? Just like Jeffrey Epstein, right? When he deleted himself. Thank you to Apple again who says, turns out that the SWAT team were formerly Epstein's jail guards. Just kidding. It's such a joke. It's got to be an inside job. Sheep will wake up. Apple also says, deep state murder, Fire Chief Corey Comparatore. Thank you to Howie Brown who says, smash like, please. Right on. Hit the like button. Thank you to Rita's Lover for your donation or for being a member, who says, the family and I just want to say we love you and keep up the good fight. Shout out to you. Appreciate you for that. Absolutely. Thank you to Apple again who says, growing up, ABL, what was your opinion on Slick Willie? When I was a kid, I thought he was cool because he played the saxophone on Arsenio Hall and he just had this real kind of like laid back guy type vibe. But I also was not that plugged into politics because in the 90s, I'm like, so in 1990, I'm 6 years old. And by the time he was done, I was probably in the 10th grade. Yeah. So I was young. I didn't really know a lot beyond just what I saw. That's why I said the whole Arsenio Hall thing was really important, because people like me when I was a kid, or just uninformed people, would appreciate stuff like that. It humanizes you, makes you cool, and people like cool people. It is what it is. Tall, cool, all of that. Pair of glasses on at night inside playing a saxophone. It's cool. Thank you to John Diamond, who says, great catching you live, ABL. It's been a while. Love from Fairfax, Virginia. Shout out to you up there in Northern Virginia. Thank you to John Santabrier, who says, forgot to pay. Here you go. Appreciate you for that. Thank you to Andrew Lapence, who says, literal racism because she's black. Also, he says, race war politics, quote unquote, by design. Also, they're hired crisis actors. They come in buses. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says all the Palestinian protesters should be deported. Shout out to Andrew again, who says, notice the 3 windows have turned into Corona V. Andrew says the 3 windows have major symbology to other temples around the world. They turned it into Corona V. It's symbology of the NWO, World Economic Foundation. No joke. Look. Lone Dragon says, so is your hat your birth year, not the book? Both. The hat was inspired by the book. It just so happens to be my birth year. Yes, so was born in 84. I will be 40 years old in September. You look old, ABL. You got a great beard. If you see me in person, I do not look old. Thank you to Catholicism Gaming, pardon me. Catholicism Gaming says, ABL, why aren't you religious? I believe you have said you believe in God. So how would you justify said belief without a faith? Christ founded a church. I don't want to get into religious debate, and that's part of the reason why I'm not religious. My religious beliefs are not for public consumption. It's very difficult. I would need a long time to talk to you about that. Okay. I'm not old, but I am old. And I've seen a lot, done a lot, read a lot. So I just came to a conclusion after many. I'll go ahead and just tell you and make it short. Short story, long story short, I came to my conclusion after studying religions all over the world, growing up a certain way, and then studying religion. And I just kind of figured out what works for me. And I respect Christianity and other religion because I understand its purpose in this world. The purpose of religion is to keep people kind of under control, not in the bad way, but in the good way, to give them a foundation upon which to build a good character. It's important to have for the majority of people. And I respect everybody in their religious belief, their faith, whatever it is. I respect everybody for whatever they do. And sometimes I don't want to speak on that because I don't want to offend anybody, because I genuinely respect everybody's faith. The same way that mine should be respected and not looked at as some kind of way negative or anything like that. You see what I'm saying? Thank you to Brian Henderson, who says, and you wonder what's going on in America. Look at these crazy people. Right on. Thank you to Michael Guess, who says, I haven't watched any of the Olympics this time. Too much trailer park like trash performing around it. Michael Guest also says Kamala is no better than the high school substitute teacher. Trump 2024. He also says plantation Democrats. So yes, Samasa. Trump 24. Thank you to J-Man MVK for getting the ABL membership. Thank you to J-Man MVK, who also says, so don't let them bait y'all on DEI BS. That's low-hanging fruit. They're setting it up for us to bite, go on policy, or whatever the F she's done in the past 3 years. Reject identity politics. I agree. Very good point. Yeah, I'm policy all day long. Color, all that kind of stuff. DEI, all that. Let's talk about policy. Uncle Horse says, Crook said 0 recoil during the first shot. Interesting. They could Slender, rather charming for your donation. I appreciate you. Rebel Without a Reason says, Ari Spears said he's voting for Kamala because Trump wants to give immunity to cops. What's your opinion in light of the Sonia Massey incident? People don't know what qualified immunity is. If it's about qualified immunity, then all that does is protect cops against lawsuits in certain situations. Okay, I'm arresting you. You're smoking crack, acting the fool. I arrest you. You slip, fall, break your finger. Now I'm gonna sue you. I think that protects you from that. Now, if it was found out, if you violate somebody's rights, their civil rights or whatever, or you committed a crime against somebody, then that can't really be, that's not under qualified immunity. We see what's happening right now with the guy in the Sonia Massey case. He's locked up for murder. He's in jail and he'll probably go to prison. So I think from what I read, it's about lawsuits, not about, you can't just do whatever you want to do. But people will see that and think, oh, they're immune. They could just delete you and get away with it. That's not how that works at all. You cannot just be brutal to people and get away with it as a police officer, you know. And some may think that's not the case because of George Floyd. But look, there was an investigation, and didn't he get locked up? I don't even know. I don't even remember. I think he did get locked up. But let's say he didn't get locked up. He might not have got locked up because there was an investigation, and then it was found that he didn't do anything wrong. That's what would prevent a guy from getting locked up. Now, I think the guy that did that is locked up. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. Let me see. Derek Chauvin. Yeah, he's in prison right now, and he got stabbed last year. So I just don't understand. But again, people just see immunity and cops and think they can delete you and get away with it. And the media plays on the general public's ignorance. It's what they do. That's why I don't like them. Okay. But qualified immunity, it wouldn't have helped him because it was found out that he did something he shouldn't have been doing. It's only about lawsuits from what I'm able to see. All right. Now let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Shout out to Eddie B, who says, ABL, I was offended by Uncle Ben signed Juan's Taco. Seriously, though, it's so ridiculous. It's pathetic. We're offended by a box. Exactly. Shout out to Desert Brew Crew, who says any black person voting for Kamala has to pay reparations. Kamala's grandparents had slaves. That's right, because one of her Irish ancestors or pawpaw, whoever, was a big-time slave owner. She's black, ABL. I can't tell. Black where? You got a dash of black. You got a dash of black. If I put a dash of Cajun seasoning in some jambalaya, does that make it a Cajun jambalaya? I don't know. Shout out to Eddie B, who says, ABL, I really don't believe that people are going for Michelle. I ain't gonna say what you said. Obama like that. I think we've had enough of the Obamas. I agree. Not a band account says, will Harris win by a surge overnight? Mail ballots? Good question. Kelly Hartnett says, hello from Vancouver. Shout out to you. Third time says, Brittany Griner says she's a man. Why she in the NBA? WNBA. Make it make sense. What she said was, when they're talking about her and her wife having the baby, and the lady interviewed was like, you're going to be a mom. She's like, no, I'll be the pops. I'll be the pops. Ma'am, you are a woman. A bull dagger, one of the final boss bull daggers you are, Miss Brittany Griner, but you are a woman. You're not a man. So I don't know what you're going to be. You might as well be the auntie because damn near one of y'all baby for real. You pretty much bought a child. I believe. Thank you to the third time who says, all right, that one. Thank you to Falcon Strike 21 who says, if Trump wins, what should he do with Ukraine? Stop giving them money. If he stops giving them money, then the war is over. Now, the problem is that some are going to say that Ukraine is going to be taken over, that it'd be conquered by Russia. Oh, well, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen? Either Russia takes Ukraine is left sovereign, or NATO takes over Russia. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like the people over there should handle their own issues. The Slavic people, the Kiev and the Rus, it's the same people. Ukrainian, Russian, tomato. What's the difference? What's the difference? No difference. A bordery and political differences. Vladimir Klitschko and Vladimir Putin, the same people. Stop playing games. Oh, it's not spelled like Vladimir ABL. Cut the nonsense. Your name's Keandre. My name's DeAndre. We got the same grandmama. Please stop. Anyway, thank you to Texas RC Noob who says, what ABL got to do to get a 1 million sub plaque? Great question. If you figure it out, man, tell me. I would love to know, man. But shout out to you, man. Thank you for super chat. All right. I know I'm talking for a long time, but we got calls on deck. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also, what I said, Klitschko? Yeah. Vladimir Klitschko, Vladimir Zelensky, Vladimir Putin, Vlad the Impaler, DJ Vlad, Vlad TV is all the same thing. All the same thing. And where's Vlad TV from? Ukraine. And sometimes they'll say, I'm from Russia. It's the same thing. Anyway, let's keep on going. And we get the calls. Let's get this sound together right quick first before we get to the calls, shall we? Let's get the sound together. All right. Let's go to, last week to 617.
Hey, ABL, it's Jenna in West Virginia. Forgive my voice. I have a little bit of a cold. But I had to call in, first of all, on the West Virginia Panhandle. I heard Berkeley Springs, and I was like, no. So I'm actually in the Panhandle. I'm in Jefferson County, and I wanted to just give you a little bit of hope here. So I actually had a delegate come out to my house yesterday, and I remember him from 2 years ago, and he remembers me from 2 years ago. And this man was the epitome of what a politician should be. He came out and was like, I just want to understand, what are your concerns? What are your issues? What questions do you have? What can I do to make your life better? And I feel like if all politicians just did stuff like that, the world would be a better place, first and foremost.
Right on.
So there's not a lost cause in the Panhandle, I promise you.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because, I know it's like a DC kind of suburb area, so you get
It's bad.
You said it's bad out there?
It's bad, and it's getting bad for human trafficking. I actually had to call the police maybe a week ago because there's vans that just have all these children. It's ridiculous. It's getting weird. But it is still very Republican. I promise you that. So I wanted to give you a little bit of hope for West Virginia on that front. We're keeping it very West Virginia.
I'm glad to hear that. Very glad to hear it.
The other thing on that was that I wanted to just make a quick note about the whole Kamala thing with her donations being raised. And again, I apologize for my voice. But all of these financial corporations donating to her, if y'all have mortgages or bills to pay through them, just write on the check memo, don't be unburdened by what has been.
Hilarious.
I mean, I don't know what else to say, but no, there's still hope for West Virginia, I promise.
Well, I'm glad to hear it for sure.
All right. Have a good night.
Same to you now. All right. So, yeah, shout out to her. Now, she's over in the Panhandle. The Panhandle is very close to, it's next to Northern Virginia. It's weird the way it works. And it's a train that goes from Harper's Ferry straight to D.C., 1 hour train. So that's not a bad commute. If you're working in D.C., hop on the train, you be there in 1 hour. You don't got to drive your car. It's not that bad. You can pretty much be on there chilling. You're not going to be stuck in traffic. You good. 1 hour, and you good. And you can live in West Virginia where it's much better to live, taxes-wise and everything, than D.C., which would be impossible, Maryland, and also even Northern Virginia itself. All right, we got a few more here. Let's go to 318. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
On the train, you be there in 1 hour.
318, hello?
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Hey, man.
What's happening?
This here's Morgan. I'm from Louisiana.
All righty, man. What's going on? What's happening?
I was just going to, tell you that I appreciate the audio only, being a truck driver.
Hey, man, I'm glad you appreciate that, man. I did it for y'all because I figured, you got guys that audio only, not a whole lot of data. get it straight to you. So I'm glad you appreciate that.
Yeah, I can't watch the video going down the road. I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
One more thing before I get off here. Can you shout out to my wife, Christian?
You say, what's her name now?
Her name's Christian.
All right, Christian, what's going on? Thank you for watching. Thank you and your husband for joining. I really, really appreciate y'all. I could not do it without you. So shout out to you.
Man, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just got her to follow you. I've been watching for years, but yeah, I just got her to follow, so we're doing good, and I'm going to tear this jambalaya up, boy. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Thank you for the call, man.
Yeah. All right, I appreciate you. Hey, one more thing.
All righty.
Tell me how to find them hats you got on, man.
Oh, you go to my store, ablmerch.com. It's a link in the description, but ablmerch.com is on there.
Heck yeah, I appreciate you. You take it easy now.
Same to you.
All right, bye.
All right, great call. My man about to tear some of that jambalaya up. That sounds great right now. That sounds great. I am hungry. As soon as the live is over, I'm going to find something to eat. Hopefully I don't do nothing bad and go to McDonald's or nothing crazy like that, but we gonna keep that on the wraps. Let's keep on going. Let's go to 775 here on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, ABL? How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, I'm Dan from Reno, Nevada, swing state, and just got off watching the Trump rally right now. It's a pretty good Trump rally, so I came a little late to the show. But did you happen to catch that Elon Musk Twitter?
I'm not sure. What happened?
So Elon Musk posted this thing about Kamala Harris about her AI. Yeah, if you ain't seen that Elon Musk, go on that Twitter and check out Elon Musk. He posted some AI about some Kamala Harris. It's hysterical. You need to watch it for sure.
I'll check it out. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Give me a feedback on that because it's really good. Your crowd's gonna like it for sure. You have a great day, sir.
Thanks for the call.
Keep up the good work.
Will do, man. Thank you.
Bro. All right.
All right. Yeah, I think I did see something like that, but I can't really remember exactly what was going on. If I can find it quickly, I'll show it to you guys. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously.
I, Kamala Harris, and your Democrat.
Okay, yeah, I found it. Hold on. I'll show a little bit of it right quick.
I, Kamala Harris, and your Democrat candidate for president, because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet,
Now, this is AI. Just so you guys know, just be clear. So can nobody say I posted up misinformation and fake stuff? This is AI. This is not real. This is fake. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said that they can clone your voice and that you wouldn't even know the difference. I hear a little bit of fault in it, a little bit from my audio ear, but still the normies, most people will not hear the difference.
Wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time.
Now, this part right here, when they're showing the video of her talking, is not fake.
So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time. Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack Obama impression. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
So there's more, but I ain't gonna spend too much time. We got limited time to get more calls. But yeah, that's from Mr. Reagan, I believe. Shout out to him. 248, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Lisa from Michigan, third-time caller. How you doing, ABL?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I wanted to mention about the Kamala flyer that said about white women. It reminds me of when Hillary said when she lost that she lost to suburban white women. So that's kind of funny because I think that when Kamala loses, she will use that statement. And I also wanted to bring up about what is it? I'm losing my concentration. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Okay, I'm just nervous. That's all. I wanted to bring up, what did you think about when Kamala dissed Netanyahu when he came to visit and didn't want anything to do with him as far as speaking? I just feel that that's not very presidential of her, as far as not working with international leaders.
Well, Kamala is just doing whatever she's being told to do, in my humble opinion. So the Democratic Party line is you got to hate Benjamin Netanyahu because he's just like Trump. So that's all that is.
Yeah. Yeah, and my other thought is, what do you think of if she were to pick someone, for her running mate? I've always thought that I don't think she really wants this. I mean, this is just my personal opinion. I think she might pick someone as VP, wait till she gets in, and then step down and let the VP take over. Have you ever thought of that?
That is possible. What I thought they would do from the beginning is run Joe, and if he was to win, which he wasn't, but their thought process is if they can get Joe to win, he'd drop out immediately, and then Kamala would take over. I thought that would be the plan from the beginning. But what you said is in that same kind of line of thinking, so that's definitely possible.
Yeah, I don't know. Her actions just don't fit her words, in my opinion. So that's just something I wanted to bring up. Because, she wasn't really voted for. Joe picked her as his running mate, and now she's getting, I don't know. It just doesn't seem very democratic to me, the way that they're playing on that side.
Yeah, it's not. It's not because nobody voted for Kamala Harris. They voted for Joe Biden, and Joe Biden selected Kamala. We, the people, did not vote for Kamala. So now they want to say, okay, although there was a whole campaign and people debated and there was a primary and whatever, now you want to just say it's Kamala and not have it be by the will of the people. That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that.
Yep.
I think if we were doing it that way, the media would lose their heads.
Oh, they would never. They would never accept such a thing. They would say that's anti-democratic. No. They're trying to say they're trying to kill democracy. That's their line about us killing democracy. But I mean, it seems like projection to me because who's doing the actual killing of democracy? It's not us. It's them.
Yeah. Yep. Well, keep rocking and rolling and doing your thing. You're doing great. We really appreciate you, all of us.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Fantastic calls. Keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 310. You don't learn who am I speaking to?
Oh, ABL. This is Ron from Atlanta. How you doing, sir?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Oh, man. Glad I was able to get through. But, yeah, today's going to be a great day, brother. There's still, everything that was going on for the past few weeks, coming off the NRC convention, like I was looking at it and just thinking that, the spirit was different and it was hopeful and it was insightful and inspiring and everything. And then I'm looking forward to the DNC convention, which I suspect would be dreadful, uninspiring, bringing the country down and talking about, all the divisiveness of the LGBT alphabet crew and everything, lifting that up and tearing down the things like, kind of like what J.D. Vance talked about the family, that they seem like they're anti-family and, the things that are good for our nation. These are the things that are really tearing the country apart. And so, but you know what? There's hope. There's hope. There's hope like what you project in your videos, what I try to expound every time I get through and everything to give the people hope, give our country hope, give our American patriots hope. Because you know what? We are the hope of the nation. Like I said, it talks about a remnant of people It was only a third of the people that fought the revolution and everything. Hey, it don't need everybody, but we, with our fire, we can do this, and we will do this. And in spite of what they try to propagate and lie about, it's like I said, it's a big grift of what they're trying to put on the American people. But those that's not paying attention will be duped. And I'm surprised because, like even some of the people that my wife and I we talked to, people that we talked to that seemed like they that we thought had a different mindset, come to find out that their mindset is twisted already. It's because of what they ingest. It's because of the information that they get. That's why we send them your videos. That's why we send them other videos of the like-minded so they can try to get their mind right, because their mind has been polluted by CNN and MSDNC. So, but you know what, brother, you just keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing as I try to project goodness throughout our nation. Every time I talk to somebody, try to give them some hope and let them know that, there's hope for people like that we keep on propagating and keep on yelling and try to get them to understand that this is what we need to be. People, don't lose heart. Trump 2024, it's going to happen, in spite of their lies, in spite of their deception. It's going to happen. But, beloved, love you, man. You just take care of yourself, okay?
Right on, man.
I'll see you the next time.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Buddy.
All righty.
All right, then. Bye-bye.
All right, great call. Great call. Shout out to you guys. All good calls tonight. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's go to 818. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is 8-Bit. So I kind of want to get back on the thing real fast with you about the homeless. And I'm pretty sure everybody at some point has seen the meme, like $1 million home in Texas that shows a really nice house, and a $1 million home in California is a tent. Have you ever seen that meme?
Yes.
So what I found funny about that is because I moved out of California a couple of years ago, and some Texans will, joke back and forth. I'm like, actually the $1 million home in Texas is cheaper. And people look at me like, what do you mean? I was like, I would refer to them, and you can look this up. A couple of years back, San Francisco actually tried to do a pilot where it was somewhere like 250 some odd tents. So they cleared out a parking lot, they put a whole bunch of tents up, and it's like 250, give or take some. It's about $55,000 or $60,000 a year to maintain each tent. Now, when you put that on a 30-year mortgage, that tent is actually more expensive than $1 million home, because $1 million home is going to be like a 30-year mortgage. You're probably going to be paid, give or take, $30,000 a year versus $60,000 a year per tent. But what I'm basically saying is, the homeless over there is just insane, and it's one of those things that's just absolutely crazy, and it's part of the reason why I left. I mean, I'm a California native, but I mean, when you start putting up those numbers, it's funny, but it's sad.
Yeah, it really is. It doesn't make any sense either. It just seems like you're just wasting money at this. I don't really understand it.
Well, the thing is, like, there's a lot of corruption there. I know that, politicians there, they make money off the homeless. It's a running joke. Anybody that lives there knows it. And, when it comes to Newsom, I mean, dude's horrible. I hated Brown when he was around. And, I thought Newsom would be better, and I never paid for a Jerry Brown back. And then Schwarzenegger, a lot of people even criticize Schwarzenegger all you want, but he was great. But the sad part is he was great because he did nothing. He didn't do anything to make it worse.
Right.
But anyway, that's all I just wanted to say. ABL, thanks for the content. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good night.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you. All right, great call. Yeah, Schwarzenegger just chilling, not doing nothing. That's better than coming in there and doing things that are going to be harmful, trying to be progressive, all this stuff. Anybody got time for that? Just do right. Let's keep on rocking here. 860, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony Brian Logan. How you doing, brother? It's FNA Ranger Xbox.
All right, man. It's good. What's going on with you?
Oh, man, you've become so popular. I haven't been able to get on. I'm like, thank God the brother's doing good. I like to keep it short because I do love, you got the best callers on the internet. Sorry, B. Tatum. Sorry, Jericho Green and Benny Hill, or Benny. You got the best. But I want to go back and remind America what the real issue of this election is. This ain't about nothing except for a reckoning. America needs a reckoning with the elite of the world. They planned the scamdemic in 2012 when Obama and the Democrats had control of the government. They repealed the Munt-Smith Act, which made it illegal for the media to be used for government propaganda and to lie to you. So why would a government want the media to lie to you when it's in the Constitution that the press should be free and unfettered from government? Well, they enslaved the media. That's the first step. The second step is they planned it. They deliberately planned it. They made the bioweapons in China. Dr. Anthony Fauci paid $12.7 million. We borrowed that money from China. We paid that money to China to make poison to kill the elderly in the retirement homes. Then our government stole their wealth through the probate courts after they're dead, because those are really some high taxes, 50% and up. Plus they get the houses and everything else that the elderly have left behind. The whole time they were telling you, the hospitals, they're overloaded. But yet those hospital employees had hours, days, and weeks to practice choreographed dance routines for their little TikTok videos. I was in my high school dance choir. I know how much work goes into that. I was also on the wrestling team, and I competed in judo nationally in the 70s. But all that aside, 5 to 6 governors signed executive orders forcing the hospitals to push the sick people with a virus doctors had never seen before into the convalescent homes to murder people on purpose so they could have that death ticker going for the psychological warfare. You better be afraid. The virus is coming down the street. Close your blinds. You can't let your kids play out on the sunlight because there could be some virus hiding under this pallet here next to the swing set. They literally said that here in Connecticut. And I'm looking at them like, oh my God. And when they told you that a mask, a face diaper would keep you safe, if that was true, then that's all I would have to wear in a nuclear biological, which is germ warfare. They changed the name to biological because we are biological beings. We live, we die. We're biological. We're not like a rock, inanimate object. Viruses, germs, they're biological. So that's biological warfare. So I trained for biological warfare on the Iron Curtain, where the Soviet Union does massive gas attacks, artillery attacks, armor attacks, armored infantry attacks in mass. That's what we trained to defend. First thing was gas or chemicals or biological. So you're going to tell me that a cloth mask is going to protect me from a virus. If that was true, that's what they would wear in the bioweapons lab where they made the virus. And as far as the history of the lab in Wuhan, the French built the lab, and we're supposed to monitor and overwatch the Chinese. As soon as they got it built and knew how to run it, the Chinese kicked the French out, and they're going to do what they want to do. And that's how the Wuhan lab was started. So I want to finish up with this. So far, near as I can figure, 20 million Americans have died from the vaccines. And that has been reported that on a website from 10 years ago, they were predicting how many people would die in 2025. I think it's Deagle. I'll have to look it up. I'll send you an email on it. And It's like I always said for the past 4 years, ABL, after I say this and people think it's the craziest thing they've ever heard, what usually happens, brother? What usually happens? Because I got a zinger and I'm going to end with the zinger.
I don't know.
Usually it ends up being true, right? Every crazy thing I ever said in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing, and I'm not really sure if this was true, but if it is, it seals the deal. First of all, we know for a fact that someone from the FBI was routinely going to that kid's home, the one that they shot trying to kill Trump. He also reportedly has $1.5 million in an offshore account in Indonesia, Switzerland, and the Cayman Islands. Now, I'm not really sure about that. I got to do some more digging, but that's looking to be what it is. And he practiced in Pennsylvania on the same gun range that the FBI and the Secret Service uses. That all came from Benny, I think Benny Johnson down Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're saying, but the media's legally allowed to lie to you now. And the Monk-Smith Act being repealed.
We got time. We got time constraints here.
Yep. Okay. Yep. It's in 2012 in the middle of the defense bill. God bless America, ABL. Great show. I'm glad you're blowing up. Geez, next year I won't even be. Maybe I can send you Braille, smoke signals. You take care, brother. God bless America. Let's get our country back, people. Whew.
All right, great call. Thank my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Let's keep going here. Let's go to 443. 443, the line I'm speaking to.
Israel.
All right.
Actually, just say Izzy.
Izzy, okay.
Are we on?
Gotcha.
We on?
We on.
All right, cool, man. Hey, look, I did a search. Do you know anything about gematria? Do you know what gematria is?
No, I don't.
Oh man, I don't know either, but I know. Basically, I'm sure people on the chat, somebody may know, but basically, each letter is assigned to a number, and so a lot of the history and a lot of the events that have taken place are done on specific date or specific time that represents a certain meaning or basically it represents a certain thing. Okay, so like a word has a number to it, and so I only know it on surface level, so I can't really explain in depth. But I know that that a lot of the masonry and a few other religion, they use numbers. That's basically the main part of their religion is that they connect numbers to like the way you're supposed to live. I don't know, but that's just surface level, right? So like for example, 9/11. 9/11 has a meaning, and I can't really recite what it is. But anyway, so that being said, just giving you guys overview of it. So I, with the assassination attempt that just happened, right? Hello, you there?
I'm here.
Yeah. So with the assassination attempt that just happened, right? I was thinking, just conspiring in my head, a few things. And I was like, you know what? Let me look up this certain word. Okay. And I don't follow the gematria. I don't follow numbers like some people do. Some people like really live their life based on numbers, and they do certain things on certain dates and stuff like that. But I heard about it. So I'm like, let me check this. Right. So I said, there's a number per word, okay, in the gematria, right? And I said, what is the number for assassination? And actually, it's so funny because you can actually look at it right now. You can actually put what is the assassination number in gematria. I don't know if you want to do it live. It's really cool what I'm about to show you, but or you want me to tell you what happened, what it is.
You can tell me, but you gotta be quick because I got a little bit of time left.
Okay. Okay. So basically, the number that associated with this assassination is 6/11. Okay.
Okay.
Do you know what time Trump was shot? Time?
No, I don't.
6/11.
Interesting. Very
So,
interesting.
Yeah. It's like I was like blown away. I have no idea what it means, but I don't know if it means anything. But I don't know if it's just coincidence. But I thought I haven't told anybody that, so I was like, let me see if I can get it out. Somebody might know more about it, and so cool. Have a great Friday, everybody.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Yep.
All righty. Yeah, I've seen people talk about that kind of stuff, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know nothing about it. But shout out to him though. I appreciate the call. 301, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Get it out. I know more about.
Hi, this is Aisha.
All righty. What's
How are
going
you?
on? I'm good. Can't complain. About yourself?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me make sure this is off. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you well.
Oh, sorry. I'm nervous. I didn't even. I think my computer is delayed. I thought I was still listening to somebody else. So I'm from the DC area. How are you?
I'm well. Can't complain.
That's good. So I guess the one thing that I wanted to get off my chest was more so about Kamala and the fact that I don't think that she can win. I think that they put her up now after Trump got shot because I think that maybe she because they know that this is kind of a throwaway election for them and it's like a time to regroup or whatever. And so I just think that they wouldn't put her up as the first woman president. I don't know how you feel about this. I really think that she hasn't really shown really well that she can do the job. And I think that whoever is going to be the first woman president is probably going to be like President Obama when he was elected. You know, the last time a black person was elected before President Obama, I think, or not elected, but the first time somebody ran, I think, was Jesse Jackson, but he wasn't a formidable opponent or anything like that. So they, you know, when President Obama came on the scene, he's like a once in a lifetime, candidate. He's, sharp and impressive and everything. And so they put him up because they knew that he would present well. I can't imagine that Kamala will present all that well. And I think that her being the first woman president is kind of like blazing the trail for any other women presidents that would ever come after her. I don't if she does horribly, I just don't think that she will. I think that it just messes up the opportunity for others. I think that the timing with Trump being shot and then Trump naming his VP and they've got two white guys running in and out. I think that they thought, well, it's not in the bag for Biden anymore. Let him step down. If Kamala does get it, then that's a win for them. But if she doesn't get it, it's just kind of a throwaway so they can regroup. And so I just think I wouldn't pick her just watching her. I'm a brown person. I think that my whole family, I live in the DC area, so my whole family is all, voting blue no matter who or whatever. And so they're going to vote for her because, they think they're saving democracy or whatever. But I can't imagine her being the first woman president. I think it's going to be somebody much more once in a lifetime candidate like Obama. And that's just my feeling about it. I don't know how you feel about it, but I just wanted to get that out there and see if anybody else has a feeling about that. And that's all I really have. I've been watching you for years. I'm really, really happy to see you come up so far as a million plus followers and all that. And so I just wish you the best. Thanks.
Thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
Okay. Great
call. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Let's go to 440, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Jordan.
All righty, what's happening?
Not much. I was just going to offer my 2 cents of what I think is going to happen with the next election.
Go for it.
I think they want Trump to win that way because the military's super weak right now because of what's been going on. So they want Trump to win. He's going to win. There's going to be a big push for people to join the military because he's back in charge. So people will want to be patriotic and do it. And then there's going to start a war with Iran for Israel.
Now, I was thinking about they're going to try to push a big military thing because the numbers are low, and they were talking about the draft, trying to tinker with that rule a little bit. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I think what you're saying,
they did that piece of legislation where they automatically register you for the draft.
Yeah.
Like, why would they do that if you're not planning on using it?
Right, exactly. So I think you have a valid point. I think there could be something there, but I think if they don't get Trump, it's still going to be the same. If they go that direction, which I hope they don't, because if they do that, really, if you try to fight Iran, the whole world is over because you're going to get every nation involved. Like that won't be as simple as this whole Russia-Ukraine thing. You're going to have China. It's going to be a mess if they do that.
Right. But I think that's what they're planning on.
I think you have a point.
My 2 cents.
Yeah. So, hey, man, I think you have a point, but I hope that you're wrong.
I hope so, too.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you for the call.
Bye.
All right. Great call. I'll take a couple more here. Then I got to wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Y'all know how I do. Let's go to 928. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL.
Hello.
It's been a while. Long time. But it's good to hear from you again. Thanks for having me. Can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Oh, good. So, this is Minimalist Wife. It's been a while. So one of the things that's really making me mad about Harris is the shortfall, the $15 billion shortfall for us veterans. They don't have the money to pay us. Well, we all know where that money's been going. Come October 1st, we may not get paid. If y'all want to know, you can look on military.com. It'll tell you a lot more. This is for veterans, spouses, survivors. The messed up thing is they're all blaming us veterans. So here you go with Biden. He did the PACT Act. I knew that was going to be trouble. I knew it. So make it look good for the political, it's what they always do. And so they're blaming everybody that's put in claims for the PACT Act. They're blaming us for our medications. They're blaming us for the 9/11 veterans that have been going to school. They're just saying that we cost too much. So, I'm really upset about this. We've had, I did a lot of research. We did digging. I've had veterans on this. Hobbs of Arizona has been digging into our funding. It's our funding so that we can see outside doctors. And she's been taking care of the illegals with that money. I live in a border town, so it's getting pretty bad. Number two, I'm going fast. So I've had a lot of left people coming at me. It's sad because I may have lose friends because they're getting real cray-cray. I had them tell me about this Project 2025, but they would never go into it, okay? And I'm like, So then last Saturday I went to go get my nails done, and my friend is the nail tech, and she started coming at me. And I was like, whoa. And she goes, you're extreme right. And I go, oh, what? And then she goes, I said, I'm not extreme right. I said, do not label me as that, ever. And she goes, well, you're a registered Republican. And I go, yeah, yeah. And then she goes, you're conservative? I'm like, okay, yeah. And then she goes, I'm not doing this abortion thing. And she goes, I'm really freaking out about this Project 2025. I says, please enlighten me and show me this Project 2025. Y'all scream about it, but you don't want to show me. So she shows me. It's based up on lies. This is not something Trump is doing. This is just political lies. That's all this project thing is. And it's based on their abortion, what is it? Of course, illegals. And yeah, we want to take care of the illegal problem. What else was it on there? Just bogus lies. And I looked at her and I'm like, this is it? I'm like, seriously. And then she started shaking her finger at me. And then she brought her mother in the salon, and the mother started attacking me for being a Republican and conservative. I'm like, yo, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good day. So, I was backed into a corner. I was trying to defend myself. I told her, you need to have some common sense about this abortion, because common sense is, they're going to allow you to have an abortion if it's rape or, whatever medical emergency, people. And I said, you can't use it for birth control. And I said, that's where I make my stand. And you're not going to change my mind. So, and it also said on there that gays can't get married. Come on, get out of here. I have a lot of gay family and gays, whatever. They've been married for a long time. This is ridiculous, ABL. So that's my beef. I mean, there's just so much more about Harris, that what they have done to America, and they destroyed it. They divided us. When we cannot be divided, people, we just cannot. We're going backwards. We need to go forward. Remember what Martin Luther King said. So that's what I have to say, ABL.
Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, too. Thank you. Night.
All right. Great calls. All great calls tonight. I think that'll be your wrap. Shout out to my Chicago police officer friend. Hopefully everything's good with you, boss, if you're watching. But that will be a wrap from me. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets, on these interwebs. I couldn't do it without you. Shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate that, because the trolls get out of control sometime. And also, this is an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Anchor, what do they call it? Stitcher, Anchor, I don't know what it's called now. And Spotify, that's what it's called. I think it was Stitcher at first, then it became Anchor. I don't know. Regardless, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, however you enjoy your audio-only podcast, it'll be available for you 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time, which will be 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. So shout out to you guys. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, or if something happens, some kind of breaking news, like they want to replace Kamala Harris, like they do something crazy, I may go live for certain important events, as you all know. But that'll be a wrap for me. Now, before I wrap it on up, put the bow on top, I believe I have a couple of more, super chats, and then that'll be a wrap for me. Thank you to LaFace Late. I know I tore your name up. I know I just butchered your name. I said iFace Late when it was clearly in LA. LaFace Late, and I know I'm tearing your name up, but thank you for becoming a member. And shout out to Memphis, who says Trump shooting was predicted 4 months ago. On YouTube, I suppose. YouTube it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I did see that. I saw that guy that had the psychic reading, talking about some, I have a vision. He's going to get shot in his ear, and it's going to miss. And yeah, I did see that for sure. And it was something that was that long ago, because the upload date was then. It's on YouTube. So yeah, shout out to him. But I ain't gonna try to find that right now. I do need a little bit of sleep, just a little bit. But thank you for joining yet again. I really appreciate y'all. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.